y'all. Eyes up and every knee gon' bow, y'all. The spirit of the kind of words that got life in it. Let it be a firmament and you put lights in it. Sitting the waters is your footstool. Every tree yielded fruit, that's that good food. You put us up in the heavens for seasons and days. And our years too, we trying to get back to the ways. You put life up in the waters, all the moving creatures. Every heartbeat is yours, I will truly need you. I will forgive us, cause sometimes we take this life for granted. Everything belong to you and you can make it vanish. You the Alpha and Omega, got every advantage. If you mark iniquities, then ain't nobody standing. Earthquakes and tornadoes, flows, they keep the commandments. The sun and moon is in his order, just by our saying. You put the sand for a bound and the sea to stop. Can't hide nothing from the arbor, y'all, you see the heart. Made man in his likeness, we corrupt the image. So the son and second Adam, obey no blemish. Offer himself in his hand, commanding his spirit. Commanding the spirit, commanding the world, God, I pray that they hear it. It all belong to you, seeking with fear and trembling. Lord, we found perfect, out of waters helping. Obedience, bring righteousness, the Father felt it. And man, you not walk with him, but it's real first. Stay humble in this relationship, we still dirt. The covenant, the Holy Spirit, it belong to him. Psalms 18 and 6, he be a phone to him. It hit different when we understand we all reckon. Are you a servant or a highway? You know the difference. 24 elders, nobody existing. Our binoculars in your presence, gonna give us a sentence. Leave a judge, everlasting life, complete the mission. Finish the course, keep the faith, y'all stop sinning. As he dwell between them cherubims, looking down on the earth, who really serving him. He prays, but they repenting out, they give him glory. He said his prayers, but we still think it's our story. Belong to the one that made it. If they ain't putting up no fight, then they don't need saving. The Sabbath belong to all, but it ain't need changing. America ain't the land, we need Canaan. We gon' lay upon this rock just like Jacob did. The promise around the corner, y'all forsake your sins. Our deliverance belong to him. By that blood, he took us back with all these wrongdoings. Sometimes I look at my hands and be like, Abba made it. We corrupt the image. We sent the Savior, but we brought to kill him. They can't all behave. A holy man that was teaching us to love your neighbor. He the bishop of our souls, y'all. They got elect for Psalms 102 and 13. It's the time of favor. Messiah got the keys, don't let the devil cage you, know. When it all said and done, no one to be a stranger, no. Like the pop from me, I never knew you get the step. Well, it's up to him if he forgive us, I need transgression. Kingdom belong to him. 1,000-year reign, that belong to him. It all belong to him. We gon' sing these songs to him. Eyes to the east, that land belong to him. Play one more track. We're gonna get started. Come on in, chat. Chat, come on in. Chat, it's good to see everybody in the chat. Shabbat shalom. Where everybody tapping in from? Hey, put, you know what I'm saying, wherever city y'all posted up there in the chat. I know we in Olive Branch. I know a lot of us Olive Branch, Memphis, but I know a lot of people ain't. So if you in the chat right now, if you in here, put where you from. You know what I'm saying, where y'all residing at. You think the Lord will forgive me after all that I've done? I said my prayers, he'll think he hear me. Will he love me like his son? Preacher man said I feel bad. So many demons all around me. I'm trying hard not to lose that. That's why I kinda know. So got Gary, Indiana in the house, Denver up in the house, Marion, Olive Branch. Okay. Be careful out there in Denver, sister. I've been hearing about what's going on.
That's crazy. Back in Venezuelans and all that taking over neighborhoods. St. Louis up in there. Shalom, Hebrew. STN in the building. Fort Worth, Texas. Okay, we got people from all over. Poppy Shoes, what it do? DC, Humble, Texas. That's what's up. Yeah, we got a good one tonight. We're gonna eat good. No pun intended. We're gonna eat good. Piece of title. Well, pun intended.
I'm the chosen one. Yeah. Everybody go through ups and downs. It get hard sometimes. Yeah. Everybody go through ups and downs. Sister Danita is from Humble.
Yes, sir.
That's North Houston, ain't it, sister? I grew up right there in Acres Homes.
Sister Shonda, Shabbat Shalom, one love.
All praise, honor, and magnificent glory is unto our Elohim, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Ishak, and the Elohim of Yaakov, Yeshua HaMashiach, our King. He's coming back to set the record straight in this peace. I guarantee you, every knee gonna bow and every tongue gonna confess that he is, and that he is, and that he is. To our brothers and sisters in the faith, as always, we salute you. Got the bruise in the building tonight. Got the young lion, Octi, and our beloved brethren Isaiah is in the building. They got a good one for you tonight. So get your pens and get your paper. Get you some coffee, because you're going to be here for a minute. With that,
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, family.
Again, I'm Octi. This is my brother. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Isaiah's family. Isaiah's Israel. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Ema says she ready for a full meal deal. Well, look, you going to get it tonight. You going to get it tonight, Ema. A full meal deal. We got about 50 scripts. No exaggeration. No nothing. I think I stopped right at about exactly 50 scripts. You know what I'm saying? So we going, and we ain't cutting nothing. So, I hope y'all got y'all snacks. Got all y'all books, y'all blankets. I hope y'all snug as a bug in the rug, because we finna get it. It's raining outside. Look, it's perfect. Perfect. All right, so bet you I got an idea of what we're going to be talking about tonight. You know what I'm saying? Hence the title, Back to the Basics. That's what BTTB stands for, if you didn't know. That's our, you know what I'm saying, our series that, you know what I'm saying, like I said, I'm probably going to run throughout for the rest of the calendar year and then some. It just, however many lessons it take until we, as a congregation, feel comfortable enough to IOT back to regularly scheduled programming, then we just going to keep going, all right? I ain't going to cap it on no time. We just going to keep going, man.
All praise.
So last time I was up, we did, just a little introductory lesson to the series for, what to expect in this thing, how to prepare your mind, because the scripture tell you, Sirach 2, get your mind right for this. Mm-hmm. So we was pretty much showing, what you're going to be running into, what you really need to be focused on now that you know that you were Israelite, right? Mm-hmm. So now to further expound on that, we got to figure out what we need to be eating. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's a big thing, y'all. It is, and one of the main points tonight is to show that, y'all, it's way deeper than just consuming physical food, our dietary law. All right, so a few objectives we're gonna look at. We're gonna look at all diets that was laid out for us in the scripture. It's a few of them. Right? And hey, one of them we need. One of them we can't go without one of them. All right, we're gonna look at all them diets. Approaching the dietary law in captivity. Y'all, we're gonna have a discussion about this later on in this class, because it's a whole lot of confusion when it comes to the dietary law in captivity. With the, you know what I'm saying, with certain meats that was deemed clean, now certain things is going on with them, and it's a big fuss in Israel. Should we still be eating it? You know, we're gonna look at stuff like that. And we're gonna identify sin. We gotta do that first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't identify sin, then you know it's pretty much a lost cause, right? And the last one is assures that the law is still active. And we ain't gonna go in no particular order on these. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna cover all these objectives tonight. So I hope y'all ready. Like I said, it's gonna be a pretty long class. We probably gonna use every minute of the 3 hours we got tonight. All right, so let's get it, Hebrew. First spot, 1 Peter 2, 1-3. We're gonna start out all these classes in this spot right here. 1 Peter 2, 1-3. Hold on, let me share the screen. Y'all ready? Put some sevens in the chat. This ain't time to be, go get my pen. Cause we finna get started. 1 Peter 2, verses 1-3. When you get it, Hebrew, go ahead and read.
All right, family. So 1 Peter 2, verse 1. Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
You see that he said as newborn babes desire the sincere milk. We're gonna keep pounding this. We're gonna keep pounding this, right? Because remember last time we talked about what happens when you stop desiring the sincere milk. Mm-hmm. Our walk gets stagnant. You know what I'm saying? We just start going through the motions, you know, and the scripture tell us you better get back to your first love.
That's right.
Yes, keep that first fire you had. You better keep that all the way through. Right? So never lose the desire of the sincere milk, because that is what helps us grow in this thing, y'all. Yes, holding on and housing these basic principles of the scripture. All right, let's go to the next spot. Ephesians 4, 14-15, Hebrew. Ephesians 4, 14-15. The pace, you know what I'm saying, of the first part of this class might be a little fast because we laying the groundwork. So, you know, we're going to try to get through the first little portion of this class pretty quickly. Ephesians, but we ain't going to rush through it. The pace is going to be a little quick.
We got all night.
Ephesians 4, 14-15. When you get it, go ahead, Hebrew.
Okay, family, Ephesians 4, verse 14. That we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind.
This is why you got to desire the sincere milk. Because if you don't, you will stay a child, and then you will get out here in these scriptures and have these wars and watching these YouTube videos and be tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine.
Right.
So stop desiring the sincere milk if you want to, and be out here rear end out, I should say. It's the Sabbath. I'm gonna keep it rated G. Go ahead, Hebrew.
And run into somebody like Mally or somebody out
right.
here, you know what I'm saying? If you don't milk,
right,
and run into the wrong brother,
right, run into somebody that's learned in wickedness, and they flip you and have you out here looking crazy. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Yes, sir. Middle of 14. By the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive.
Yes, sir. Let's go to the next. My bad. Go ahead, Hebrew. My bad. Yeah, go ahead, read. My bad.
But speaking the truth in love may grow up into all him in all things, which is the head, even Hamashiach.
You see that? There it is, talking about growth again. Growth again, right? So that we may grow up. All right. So let's go to the next spot. John chapter 4, 23 through 24. John chapter 4, 23 through 24. Aquila and Priscilla Ministry, Shabbat Shalom. Hope y'all doing good.
What's going on, D-Ro?
All right, John chapter 4, 23 through 24. Go ahead, Hebrew.
All right, family. John 4 and 23. Now cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth.
You see that? The true worshiper.
The Father seeketh such to worship him.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
So the true worshiper shall worship him in spirit and in truth. So if it's not in spirit first and foremost, that's first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because if you ain't in the spirit, you ain't even got to worry about the true part. Because you ain't even in the spirit, so it can't be true.
Right.
Right. So hey, if you gonna deal with the law, it need to be from the spiritual aspect first. We need to understand that. Get that down pat. All right, and then in truth. All right. Once you get the spirit part right, then you can fully walk in the truth. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 24. Yah is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
No, it says those that worship him, if they choose to, can worship him in spirit and truth.
Must. So must.
It gives us a multiple choice. Do it, Hebrew. Is that what we're reading? Or must is there? There is no choice.
Nope.
That's right.
Right? So if you ain't even dealing with the law from a spiritual level or a spiritual aspect, you're not a true worshiper, and the Father does not recognize you or the Son. All right. So now let's go get the definition of sin, Hebrew. Let's go to Leviticus 4, verse 2. Leviticus 4, verse 2. Yeah. Yep. That one verse, Hebrew, Leviticus 4 and 2. When you get it, go ahead.
Okay, family. So Leviticus 4 and 2.
Right.
Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, if his soul shall sin through ignorance against any of the commandments of the Most High.
Stop right there, Hebrew. Stop right there. That's the definition of sin right here in your Old Testament. It says sin, even though through ignorance. Okay, so what makes it a sin? Going against any of the commandments of the Most High.
Yes, sir.
Right? Go ahead, Hebrew.
Concerning things which are not to be done, and shall do against any of them.
All right, we just want that one verse. Now let's go get in the New Testament. 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. So there it is, Leviticus 4 and 2, going against any of the commandments. Even if it's through ignorance, it called it what? Sin. Called it sin. All right. 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 4, family.
Yep.
Whosoever committeth sin, transgresseth also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law.
You see that? So sin is the breaking of the law. Sin is the breaking of the law. It's the same thing it just said, Leviticus 4 and 2. Let's go to Proverbs 24 and 9. Let's go to Proverbs 24 and 9. All right, so they still talking about, they in 1 John. They still talking about the law.
Yes, sir.
And how breaking it is still sin. Now we went from Leviticus to the beginning, from the beginning of the book, all the way toward the end, and it's saying the same thing at the gate.
Come on now.
Yes, sir.
At the gate now. Now, from this point forward, the Bible either gonna do one or two things. Confirm what we've been reading, or it's just gonna confuse us all and say something totally different as we keep going. Right? We ain't leaving none of the naysayers, none of the pig meat eating relatives, Sunday churchgoers with no wiggle room tonight. These the only two directions this class gonna go with these scriptures. We just set the tone. Leviticus 4, 1 John 3. It's either gonna go forward and everybody gonna get more understanding from this point, or we just gonna go backwards and this gonna cause more confusion. Right. At the end of this class, everybody either gonna be more clarified or more confused. And I want y'all to let me know which one y'all are at the end of the class. All right, let's go to the next spot. Well, did we even read this?
No, we ain't read that yet, T.
Okay, yeah, read that, Hebrew. Go ahead. Proverbs 24:9.
Okay, so verse 9, family. The thought of foolishness is sin.
All right, so now there's an aspect of sin that deals with the thought. See that? The thought of foolishness is sin. See, when you've been off that pork, the thought of, man, you know what? After 10 years, man, the most I wouldn't be mad if I go get me some cracklings.
Okay. A double bacon burger.
Look, you thinking that, guess what? On judgment day, he gonna question you about that. He gonna question you about that line of thinking, that train of thought. Why did you think about getting cracklings and think that I wasn't gonna hold that against you? That's what's gonna be asked of you. He ain't gonna get up. You ain't gonna get up there on Judgment Day, and the Messiah look at you and say, you know what? Even though you thought that but didn't do it, you good. Come on, no. Let's get that instilled in our minds. Let's go to the next spot. Let's go to Testament of Zebulun, Hebrew. Testament of Zebulun. That's in the Old Testament Pseudepigrapha for Volume 1. Page 805 is what I want. Good. Yeah. Page 805. Testament of Zebulun, Hebrew. And we're going to do, I ain't even got no chapter right here. That's crazy. Let me see what I want. Okay. Testament of Zebulun, chapter 1, and pick it up at verse 4, where it says, I am not aware. You see where it says, I am not aware, Hebrew?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, yeah, pick it up right there and just read that verse 4 and 5.
Okay.
Now, just read it on now. Read it on now.
Start at 1?
Now, start at chapter 1, verse 4, though.
Okay. Okay, family. So it reads, I am not aware, my children, that I have sinned in all my days, except in my mind.
Where did he say? He said, except in my mind. Bagging up Proverbs 24:9. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Nor do I recall having committed a transgression except what I did to Joseph in ignorance, because in a compact with my brothers, I kept from telling my father what had been done. Although I wept much in secret, I was afraid of my brothers, because they had all agreed that if anyone disclosed the secret, he should be killed by the sword. Even when they wanted to kill him, I exhorted them with tears not to commit this lawless act.
Right. All right. So now let's drop that, Hebrew. Let's go to Matthew.
You ain't want the 2?
Nah, that was it on that, Hebrew.
Okay.
That was it on that. Let's go to the next spot. Let's go to Matthew 5. Let's go to Matthew 5, Hebrew. Let's do that next. Let's go to Matthew 5. Matthew 5, and we're going to pick this up at verse 17. You know, for me, it's a preference for me to teach newcomers the law from Matthew 5 versus Exodus 20. That's right. Now, Exodus 20 is an excellent starting point, right? But guess what? The one who wrote Exodus 20,
come on now, come on,
told you gonna really need to listen to the one that's coming after me. Matter of fact, let's go there, Hebrew. Yeah. Deuteronomy 18.
Do that.
Deuteronomy 18. This is why my preference is to teach the law from Matthew 5 first. Because the one who wrote Exodus 20 said this. You know, As a teacher, you know, do as the Ruach leads you. The Ruach led me to teach it like this. I Deuteronomy 18, Hebrew do 18 through 21.
All right, family. So Deuteronomy 18 and 18. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I have commanded him. That whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die.
All right, let's go to Matthew 5. That's what Moses said. That's what Moses said. And if we was to go to Acts 3 and read probably from verse 11 on down to 24, Peter confirmed who Moses was talking about, which was the Messiah.
Yes, sir.
He confirmed it. All right, let's go to Matthew 5. Let's do 17 through 21, Hebrew. And then we're going to skip down. 17 through 22. And then we're going to skip down.
Okay, so verse 17, family. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law.
Right, so that includes the dietary law, don't it? So he said, I come not to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. All right, go ahead.
Verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, you shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Right. So in that verse 19, he said, those who teach men, who shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so. Right. So we don't teach you that the dietary law is no more.
Yes, sir.
We don't teach you that Acts 10 did away with the dietary law. Matthew 15 did away with the dietary law. We don't teach you that. And least in the kingdom does not mean you're going to be one of the last people to get in. That mean if old Leroy always steal it from you and you throwing a party and you say, man, Leroy said he going to fall through. Man, that nigga will be the last one to come to my party. That's what that means. You will be the last one to get into the kingdom teaching men to break the commandments. Right? He said, unless your righteousness exceed the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom. How does this apply to the dietary law? Yeah, you might not eat the pork, but you still operating with no discretion. Yeah, you might not eat weasel and mice, but you gossip like one. You unclean like one.
Come on with it, Doc.
Right? I'm giving y'all a hint where the dietary law, the spiritual part of it, is dealing with character. All right? Because you are what you eat. That was verse, you got to verse 22 yet, Hebrew?
No, we had 21, Doc.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 21, family.
Yeah.
Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not kill, and whosoever shall kill shall be in danger of the judgment.
See, of old time only dealt with the action. You see how he said the old time, and then he just named the action. Didn't have nothing spiritual, nothing that made you get your mind right about killing. Right, verse 22. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Hey, let me say this. That's why the Pharisees sought to kill the Messiah. You know what I'm saying? Because they felt like they could do that and not have their hands dirty.
That's what I'm saying.
They wasn't doing that.
See? But hey, they could claim, hey, I kept the law. I didn't physically kill him.
Right.
Yeah, but you put you gave money to somebody to go do it.
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead, Hebrew. Let's keep going.
But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Raka, shall be in danger of the council.
So what do we get from this? What do we get from learning the law from Matthew 5, straight from the horse's mouth, Christ's perspective?
And red letters.
He letting you know that transgression of the law starts with thoughts. He letting you know that murder starts with being angry with your at your brother without a true cause.
Yes, sir.
Murder starts with saying, look, insulting things to your brother or your sister. Raka, you empty-headed fool, you idiot. But Bruce should not be talking to other Bruce like that. See, this is how you really learn what thou shalt not kill is right here. Go ahead, Hebrew.
You know what?
That was it on it. Let's skip down. Okay. Matter of fact, read through 29. We ain't skipping down. Read through 29, Hebrew. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 23 then.
Yeah.
Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and thou rememberest that thy brother hath aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift.
You see what he's saying? He said, look, if you know his issue, cut the outer cup stuff out and get right with your brother first. Then come back to the altar and do all this outer cup stuff.
Right.
See, we want to ignore the making it right with our brother and still come to the altar. Yeah, I mean, do you understand that's directly contrary to what he just told you right here? When we do that, do we recognize that we just saying, okay, I understand what you said here in verse 22, Christ, but this is what I feel like doing.
Right.
Because I'm too scared of the hard conversation to have with this brother or this sister. So I'm just going to still bring my gift to the altar. And then you wonder why it ain't no motion in your spiritual life. Because a little small, just being a little hard-headed, little stuff like that. If you just start tweaking stuff like that in your life, watch how stuff start to change for you. Right? Go ahead, Hebrew. Let's keep reading.
Agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. Verily I say unto thee, thou shalt by no means come out thence till thou hast paid the uttermost farthing.
Right, 27.
Ye have heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her, hath committed adultery with her already in his heart.
You see that? He told you that you commit adultery without committing the actual act of it.
Yes, sir.
Now, if Christ was going down the cross and do away with the law, why would he waste his time while he was allowed to break down the true meaning of the law? Right? So adultery even starts in the mind. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 29.
Yeah.
And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell.
Right? So you're going to be cast into hell because you could control your eyes from lusting. Now he said, look, cast that out. Not literally. We ain't talking about castration.
Don't pluck it all the way out.
Yeah, I can't stop committing adultery, brother. I'm finna chop it off. Look, don't call and tell me before you do. I don't want to. I don't want to hear that.
Yes, sir.
Know what you move, partner. That's what you feel like you got to do. But understand, we don't teach this verse to mean castration here at this ministry. That's what you felt like you had to do, don't call none of us and tell us. Just go and go with your move, Hebrew.
Well, you already lost because you can't conquer your mind.
Right.
I was going to say, you can't lop off that in your head. You can lop off your member.
You can chop that off and still have the lustful thoughts.
That's right.
You lost limbs and still can feel their hand.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why you got to deal with the mind. You can do all the chopping off of the private parts all you want to. If you ain't dealt with them lustful thoughts in that mind, guess what? Now it's gonna be rough on you now, because now you ain't got the tool.
So what you gonna use to compensate?
That's what I'm saying. That's when that's
more law.
That's to hey, let's go and see what part of the law did Christ fulfill. Let's go to Luke. Let's go to Luke 24. Luke 24. Luke 24, y'all. The objective we dealing with right now is assurance that the law is still active. That's where we at in the class right now. So Christ said, we went to the beginning of the book, transgression of the law. That's breaking the commandment. That's sin. To the back of the book, transgression of the law. That's sin. Christ, I have not come to destroy the law, but to fulfill. If you break or teach men to break, you ain't gonna be in the kingdom of heaven. Don't all our church going family members want to get to heaven? Well, if you gonna break the law, you not going. Christ said that. Luke 24, 36 to 44. What'd you say, Hebrew?
Hey, why would the Most High get off his throne like he did on Mount Sinai, come down and do all he did right there for Israel and give him the law right out of his own mouth to do away with?
Right.
That don't make no sense.
None at all. None at all. None at all. They never let their logic get ahead of their emotions when it come to talking about it. All right, let's go to Luke 24, 36 through 44. Luke 24, 36 through 44. When you get it, go ahead, bro.
Family, so we at verse 36. And as they thus spake, Yeshua himself stood in the midst of them and said unto them, peace be unto you. But they were terrified and affrighted and supposed that they had seen a spirit. And he said unto them, why are ye troubled? And why dost thou arise in your hearts? Thoughts, Behold, my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Handle me and see, for spirit hath not flesh and bones, as ye see me have. And when he had thus spoken, he showed them his hands and his feet. And while they yet believed not for joy, he wondered. He said unto them, have ye here any meat? And they gave him a piece of broiled fish and of a honeycomb.
Right.
And he took it and did eat before them. And he said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moses and in the prophets and in the Psalms concerning me.
Concerning me.
Yes, sir.
Those were the things that were fulfilled in the law. Concerning me. Now, that wasn't the dietary law. He said, I fulfill everything concerning me.
Yes, sir.
There's a bunch of prophecies in the prophets that are future prophecies that have yet to be fulfilled.
Yes, sir.
Right? So just give y'all a little hint. The part of the law that became inactive was the law of animal sacrifice. And we got classes coming for that. BTTB lessons coming for that as well. Y'all know we got lessons coming for that. But let's go to the next spot. Let's go to Philippians chapter 3, Hebrew.
Copy that.
Philippians chapter 3. Philippians chapter 3. Let's do 14 through 19. Don't let nobody ever feed you the lie that the Most High is not concerned with what we consume, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all, it's in all type of instructions through these scriptures about greed. We got laws of moderation.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? All that. 14 through 19. When you get it, go ahead, Hebrew. Philippians 3, 14 through 19.
Okay, so verse 14, family.
Yep.
I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of Elohim in Hamashiach Yeshua. Let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thus minded, and in anything ye be otherwise minded. Elohim shall reveal even this unto you. Nevertheless, whereto we have already attained, let us walk by the same rule. Let us mind the same thing. Brethren, be followers together of me. So as ye have us for an example. For many walk, of whom I have told you often, and now tell you even weeping, that they are the enemies of the cross of Hamashiach.
Right, go ahead.
Whose end is destruction. Whose Elohim is their belly.
You see that?
Whose
So
glory is their shame.
Yeah. Finish it out. Finish it out.
Who mind earthly things.
All right, so there are people who are enemies of the cross. Why? Because their God is their what? Belly.
Really? Yes,
so even under the order of Melchizedek, New Testament, it said if your God is your belly, if you can't control your appetites, your sexual cravings, your food cravings, you mind earthly things, and your end is destruction. Now, if he'll destroy you for having your God as your belly, that means he must gave you rules and regulations on how not for your God to be your belly.
Yes, sir.
Because he ain't just gonna say, look, I'm gonna destroy you if your God your belly, but I ain't gonna give you nothing to go by. You see what I'm saying? So let's go to the next spot, Hebrew. Sirach 36, 18 through 19. Sirach 36, 18 through 19. Yeah, if your God your belly, I'm gonna destroy you.
Yeah.
Well, how do I make sure my God ain't my belly? Figure it out. No, he ain't gonna do that. We got instructions. Gave us 2 dies, one in Genesis 1, one in Leviticus 11. Give us the freedom to be able to pick, do both. Let's read it, Hebrew. Sirach 36, what I say, 18 through 19. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Okay, so verse 18.
Yeah.
The belly devoureth all meat.
Now look, check this out. The belly will devour all meats.
Yes, sir.
You can eat that pork, it'll digest it. You might have some trouble doing the digestion process, but it'll devour all meats now.
Yes, sir.
But read the last part of that verse.
Yet is one meat better than another?
You see that? He said, but yet is one meat better than another. What? That turkey better than that pork. Even among the clean meats. Look, it's hard for a lot of us to digest the beef as we get older. Yeah. Man, that beef will bag you up, man. Well, you stack that plate full of beef ribs at the feast if you want to. And boy, be constipated for a month around here. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I slide more towards the chicken. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, some meat's just better than others. All right, verse 19. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 19.
Yeah.
As the palate tastes divers kinds of venison, so doth in heart of understanding false speeches.
Now, pay attention to verse 19. Notice how it goes from your physical palate right to the heart, straight to the heart. There's a relation there from your palate to your mind. Palate to mind. He says, just as the palate tastes different kinds of venison, so doth the heart of understand false speeches. Yes, right? So we're going to get more into that later. Now let's go to Sirach 31. Sirach 31. Sirach 31. Let's do verses 16 through 20, Hebrew. Sirach 31, 16 through 20. We getting through this pretty good. Looking at a few laws of moderation right here, Hebrew. Sirach 31, 16 through 20. When you get it, go ahead, Hebrew.
Okay, family. So verse 16.
Yeah.
Eat as it becometh a man. Those
Right.
things.
See, it says eat like a human. Don't eat like a barbarian. Eat as it becometh a man. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Those things which are set before thee, and devour not, lest thou be hated.
You see that, man? Y'all ever seen Major Payne how he was eating?
Yes, sir.
Boy, don't come to that, man. Don't come to Tabernacles, boy, eating like that. We're gonna be like, man, don't invite that boo back to you don't eat at the crib, man. The way he over there eating.
Right.
That Hebrew ain't looked up, ain't breathed since he sat down. You know, people ain't gonna want to have you around you eat like a barbarian, just eating with your hands, ain't using forks or nothing.
Right.
He got the spaghetti like this with his hand, doing like this with the spaghetti. Man, no, bro. It said eat like a human, bro. That's right. Our instructions. We not barbarians, okay? We civilized human beings. We don't eat like Major Payne.
Yes, sir.
All right. Verse 17. The scriptures deal with table manners and all that. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 17.
Yeah.
Leave out first for manners' sake, and be not unsatiable, lest thou offend.
Yeah. Hey, even though you being offered more, hey, you want another piece of chicken, bro? Sometimes you're just like, man, nah, I'm good. You ate enough to suffice. Hey, nah, I'm good.
Right.
You know, these just good manners right here.
Yeah. That makes
all
sense.
Right, go ahead, Hebrew.
When thou sittest among many, reach not thy hand out first of all. Don't be the first one.
Yeah. You always the first one in the line at the feet. This ministry stationed in Memphis and Olive Branch. You up there when we called to get you. Hey, yeah, I'm technically, I'm South Haven. You know, hey, don't be the first one to always reaching your hand out. All right, y'all trying to eat. You trampling over emails and she brews to get to the ribs. Yeah. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 19.
Yeah.
A very little is sufficient for a man well nurtured, and he fetcheth not his wind short upon his bed.
That's right. He said, so a well-nurtured man, it don't take much to fill a well-nurtured man up. Right? And then he say, look, if you eat, don't eat until you feel like you about to pop. Me personally, I eat nowadays. I eat just enough to satisfy my that little hunger pain go away or whatnot, and I'm good. Just to put something on my stomach now. We not living to eat. We eating to live. Yes, sir. Right. And so when you don't eat until you pop, it said you ain't gonna be trying to laying down trying to catch your breath. You ain't gonna be doing all that while you trying to go to sleep. So we got laws of moderation as well to go with our dietary law, right? Not only do our scriptures tell us what to eat and what not to eat, it tells us how much. And these laws are very important now, since just about everything we can consume is poison, right? We need to really be focused on our laws of moderation. Verse 20, go ahead, Hebrew.
I was hoping we kept reading, man. I was reading.
Yes, sir.
I hope we kept reading this.
Yes, but sir.
Sound sleep cometh of moderate eating. He riseth early, and his wits are with him. Mm-hmm. But the pain of watching and choler and pains of the belly are with an insatiable man. You see what all come with a greedy man? Mm-hmm. Look, stomach pains, like ulcers, digestive problems, and look, can't sleep at night. It's painful being up. Why? Because your stomach hurt. You got the BGs, diarrhea. You know, he said, look, if you want to sleep good at night, stop eating so heavy. Yeah, got heartburn and everything else. Yeah. I can't go to sleep till I go to the bathroom, man. My stomach hurt. That's what he say. Keep stuffing yourself if you want to. You know what you got to deal with: pain of watching, cold, pains of the belly. He said that's what a greedy man, that's what unsatiable means. All right, go ahead, Hebrew 21. Verse 21. Yeah. And if thou hast been forced to eat, arise, go forth, vomit, and thou shalt have rest. My son, hear me and despise me not. And at the last thou shalt find as I told thee, and all thy works be quick. So shall there no sickness come unto thee.
Okay, now let's go to Job chapter 23 and 12. Job chapter 23 and 12. Let's go look at our most essential diet, y'all. The most essential diet we have, y'all, is these scriptures, is the words of the Most High. Let's go ahead and deal with that one first.
You said 23T?
Yes, sir. Job 23 and 12. Job 23 and 12. Yup, bad dreams and all, Hebrew.
Yeah.
Bad dreams and all. Hey, for my people who indulge in the left-handers, y'all, we really gotta watch it, because when them munchies kick in, and you 10:30 at night up in the refrigerator cooking pot roast and yams and get you some fruit for when them type of things happen. Job 23 and 12, y'all. Let's get it. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 12, family.
Yeah.
Neither have I gone back from the commandment of his lips. I have esteemed the words of his mouth more than my necessary food.
You see that? Job said, I esteem the words of his mouth more than my necessary food. All right. Now, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 8. Deuteronomy chapter 8. Right? Remember, what did Eve consume when she had a conversation with Satan? She consumed the information, the words.
Yes, sir.
Right? Bad died in the garden. Bad died. All right, Deuteronomy 8, 1 through 3, Hebrew. When you get it, go ahead.
Okay, family. So verse 1.
Yeah.
All the commandments which I command thee this day shall ye observe to do, that ye may live and multiply and go in and possess the land which the Most High sware unto your fathers. And thou shalt remember all the way which the Most High thy Elohim led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee and to prove thee, to know what was in thy heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no. And he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man doth not live by bread only, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Most High doth man live.
That's right. He said, man, we don't live by bread only, but every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Lord doth man live.
Yes, sir.
Right. So when Moses did 40 days and 40 nights, when Christ did 40 days and 40 nights, what sustained them? The words of the Most High.
Yes, sir.
Y'all, what do you think get us through them 24 hours of the Day of Atonement? That's what get us through.
Yes, sir.
The words of the Most High. Let's go to Matthew 4. Let's go look at it again in Matthew 4, 1 through 4, Hebrew. Matthew 4, 1 through 4. Matthew 4, 1 through 4. When you get it, go ahead, bro.
Okay, Matthew 4 and 1, family. Then was Yeshua led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered.
Yeah.
And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the son of Elohim, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Elohim.
See, so Christ, even he knew that. He was fasting, but look, look, man, look, I ain't finna make no bread out of no stone. This is what I've been eating on right here.
Yes,
This been
sir.
enough for me for 40 days and 40 nights.
Mm.
Mm.
He
All right,
said,
now let's go look at the first diet we was given. The first diet we was given, y'all. Let's go to Genesis 1. Genesis 1 and verse 27 through 29. Genesis 1 verses 27 through 29, Hebrew. All right, when you get it, go ahead.
Okay, Genesis 1, 20 and 27, family.
Mm-hmm.
So Yah created man in his own image.
Right.
In the image of Yah created he him. Male and female created he them. And Yah blessed them. And Yah said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And Yah said, behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth,
Right.
and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for me.
All right, so this is the first diet we was giving y'all. Every herb burn seed, which is upon the face of all the earth.
Mm-hmm.
This was man's first diet, right? Let's go further along. Let's go to Genesis 3:17 through 18. Genesis 3:17 through 18. All right, so this is after. This is when when he handed down the punishments to Adam and Eve. Something happened. So since man's food was straight herbs, something happened after they sinned, which would affect the growth of the herbs, which, you know what I'm saying? So now the growth of the herbs is being affected, but man is constantly multiplying.
Right.
It's going to be a problem, right? All right, so let's read this. Genesis 3:17 through 18. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 17.
Yeah.
And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life.
Okay, so since Adam and Eve, the ground has been cursed. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 18.
Yeah.
Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field.
So before Adam and Eve did what they did, y'all, you didn't have to toil hard for the vegetation to come up out of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
You till the ground a little bit, you put the seed in there, water it, hey, it spring on up. Now when you plant the seed, because you sin, instead of that fruit popping up, it's gonna be thorns and thistles that pop up, and one or two apples might be on that tree. So now the vegetation ain't coming forth like it should be coming forth, and you got bodies on the earth constantly multiplying. Constantly multiplying, right? So the Most High had to do something. He had to add something to the diet. Let's go to Genesis 6. Genesis 6. Genesis 6:17 through 22. Genesis 6:17 through 22. When you get it, go ahead, bro.
All right, family. So verse 17.
Yeah.
And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, wherein the breath of life under the heaven, from under the heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. But with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wife and thy sons' wives with thee. And of everything, of every living thing, of all flesh, two of every sort, shalt thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female, of fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing of the earth after his kind. Two of every sort shall come unto thee, to keep them alive. And take thou unto thee of all food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and it shall be for food for thee and for them. Thus did Noah according to all that Elohim commanded him, so did he.
All right, now let's drop that. Let's go to Genesis 7, 1 through 3. Genesis 7, 1 through 3. Genesis 7, 1 through 3, Hebrew.
Okay, so verse 1.
Yeah.
And the Most High said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens.
Of every what beast?
Clean beast.
Okay, so clean beast. We just don't, we see that in Genesis first, not Leviticus.
Right.
And there's a distinction between clean and unclean beasts under the same order we all are under right now.
Yes, sir.
Just more confirmation, y'all, that look, you saying that the law is done away with. Well, it wasn't done away with when Melchizedek was in order in the beginning. So why is it done away with under Melchizedek now?
Yes, sir.
And just sit there. Don't say nothing else. Just sit there and let them explain that to you. Don't help them out. Don't let them move away from the topic. Every time they try to go away, bring them right back to the point.
Right.
And just you don't say nothing. Just sit there and let them explain to you why that is. Right? Keep reading, Hebrew.
I'm going to start at 2 again, brother. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by 2, the male and his female. Of fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth.
All right, let's go to Genesis 8, verse 20. Genesis 8, verse 20. When you get it, go ahead, bro.
Verse 20.
Yeah.
And Noah builded an altar unto the Most High, and took of every clean beast and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. Okay,
so according to people that's in the Sunday churches, Christ died and everything became clean. And that was under the order of Melchizedek. They say this. That's what they say, right?
Yo, they say.
Now, Noah should have had this same understanding, because if that's what it is, then that understanding should have been in the earth, even in Noah's time.
Right.
Come on now.
If God be God.
If God be God, man.
Yes, sir.
Because Noah was under the same order we are now that y'all saying this. So Noah could have went and got a pig or anything and put it on that altar. But he got a clean beast. That's what it say on the Hebrew.
Yes, sir.
He got a clean fowl. That's what it say on the Hebrew.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's what I thought. You finished reading that verse?
That was 20, yeah.
All right, let's go to Genesis 9, 1 through 3. Tell him we ain't leaving with no wiggle room tonight. None. Genesis 9, 1 through 3. When you get it, go ahead, bro.
Verse 1. And Yah blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hands are they delivered. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you.
I stop right there, Hebrew. I want to deal with this real quick. So, because this is how short, how crazy some of our people's mind work. They'll one line you. Yeah. They won't read what we just, all them other scriptures in Genesis got clean and unclean we just read, right? Because Paul talked like this in his writings, where Paul says all things are lawful. This how Moses wrote this verse right here. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Well, we know he's not talking about every living thing because he already made a distinction between clean and unclean.
That's right.
Yeah, was a man moving? Well, you could eat a man then, I guess.
Thank you. Good point, Hebrew.
Shoot, come on, man.
So understand it, like keep everything, be balanced when you reading the scriptures. When you see stuff like this, because this is how Paul talk. Paul say stuff like all things are lawful. Well, if you don't really know that Paul was a law keeper, you wouldn't interpret that as all things that are lawful are lawful. You see what I'm saying? So just go ahead, Hebrew.
I'm gonna start 3 over.
Yeah.
Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Even as the green herb have I given you all things.
All right. So in that verse 3 right there, go both our dies. Genesis 1 and the meat die, Leviticus 11. And we finna go into that, Hebrew. Let's go to Leviticus 11. This thing finna start opening up a little bit. Leviticus 11. We're going to pick this up at verse 1. Okay. Let's do 1 through 23, and then we're going to skip. Okay. All right, when you get it, Hebrew, go ahead.
All right, family, Leviticus 11 and 1.
Yeah.
And the Most High spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof, and is cloven-footed, and cheweth the cud, among the beasts that shall ye eat.
Okay, y'all. So that's important. It gotta have all of these characteristics. Y'all see me highlighting them. A parted hoof, and is cloven-footed, and cheweth the cud. That means they chew their food, swallow it, regurgitate it, and chew it again. Right? You say, why do he require that of us? Why the cloven foot? Why they gotta chew the cud for us to be we gonna get into that later.
Oh, praise.
Yes, sir.
All that means something.
Yes, sir.
He said, these are the beasts that ye shall eat, right? Verse 4. Go ahead, bro.
Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof. He is unclean unto you.
He said you can't eat half clean animals.
Right.
You can't look at something and be like, well, it got a few clean characteristics where it's two clean characteristics, one unclean. That means we can eat it. No, you can't. You can't be halfway righteous and halfway wicked.
Right.
For those who know, I just threw you an alley to what we gonna be getting into later with that last statement right there. If you caught it, you did. If not, you're just gonna have to wait till we go over it later. Right? And it'll make more sense later on. Keep going, Hebrew.
Verse 5. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean to you.
Go ahead.
You. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you.
Remember that, the hare. He cheweth the cud. Cute and everything.
You look nice.
Yeah.
Yes,
but divided not the hoof. It got to have all clean characteristics, y'all, for you to be able to eat it. If it's not clean, it's not food. It is not considered food to us.
That's right.
Pork is not considered food to us. It's not food.
Yeah.
Right? Go ahead, Hebrew, verse 7.
Verse 7. And the swine, though he divided the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you.
He is unclean. Hold on, let's look at this word unclean, because we just reading it. We need to look it up. I want y'all to see what it means. The Most High gave us dietary instructions. He telling us to stay away from this stuff for a reason. H29:31. This is unclean. Look at what it says. Unclean, impure, ethically and religiously, ritually of places. Strong's definitions. Foul in a religious sense, defiled, infamous, polluted, polluted, unclean. Unclean. All right. Now, let's keep reading, Hebrew. Read on to verse 23. We just read this through.
Okay. I forget where I was. Where was I at?
Verse 8. Verse 8.
Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean unto you. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters.
It says fins and scales, so it gotta have both. So your shrimp off the table, your catfish off the table, your lobster off the table.
Yes, sir.
Calamari
off the table.
Yes, sir.
Your escargot off the table. Your caviar off the table.
Yes,
what else y'all like to eat? You like to hunt them coons and
oh man,
oysters and mussels and
yeah,
you know,
gators and whatever.
Yeah, snakes and yeah, they do all that.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, Hebrew.
That has fins and scales in the water, in the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
It shall be they should be an abomination unto you.
Yes,
it's
sir.
supposed to be something that you hate when it comes to it being considered food.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And guess what happens when everybody starts to indulge in the things that the Most High told us not to? Now, certain clean fish is being affected, like the tilapia. It's pretty much uneatable now. Why? Because Negroes is eating catfish in droves, shrimp in droves, lobsters in droves, crabs in droves. All the things that's supposed to keep the water clean, so that the clean fish it won't be affected by it. Guess what? Now we eating all those. So now the whole water system is messed up. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 11.
Yeah, they say frog legs. Sister Laura said frogs. They say frog legs taste like chicken. No, it tastes like frog. Chicken tastes like chicken.
Right.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 11.
Yeah.
They shall be even an abomination unto you. You shall not eat of their flesh, but you shall have their carcasses in abomination. Whatsoever hath no fins nor scales in the water, that shall be an abomination unto you.
Mm-hmm.
And these are they which ye shall have in abomination among the fowls.
All right, so check this out. With the fowls, he named all the birds we can't eat. He didn't name the ones we could. Right. We know which ones we can eat. All right, so pretty much all the birds of prey. That's a no-no.
Yeah.
That's a no-no, right? All right. And we're gonna get into a little bit of the chicken and all that. We're gonna get into that later, right? When we deal with the objective of dealing with the dietary laws in captivity. When we get to that part of the list, we're gonna deal with that. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
The middle of 13.
Yeah.
They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination. The eagle and the ostrich,
right?
And the osprey and the vulture and the kite after his kind. Every raven after his kind.
Now think about these birds he telling us not to eat. The vulture. Think about how a vulture acts. Eat dead things. Birds of prey. Hey, flying around and look and see who his next victim is. Think about ravens and eagles look intimidating. Think about the owl. It operates in the darkness. Go ahead, Hebrew.
16.
Yeah.
And the owl and the nighthawk and the cuckoo, I think that's how you say it, and the hawk after his kind, and the little owl and the cormorant and the great owl and the swan and the pelican and the gear eagle,
Mm-hmm.
and the stork, and the heron after her kind, and the lapwing, and the bat.
You see that? And the bat. Supposedly, that's how COVID got started,
Yeah.
You go down in Australia, little eating that.
boy. And the bat.
They spread rabies.
Yep. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 20. All fowls that creep going upon all fours shall be an abomination unto you.
Mm-hmm.
Yet these may ye eat of every flying creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which have legs above their feet to leap withal upon the earth.
I wanted to do visuals for this part, but it was so many scriptures, yeah. I just wasn't gonna have time to. It was gonna run too late. The class was gonna run too late if I did the visuals. But go ahead, bro.
Verse 22.
Yeah.
Even these of them may ye eat,
Mm-hmm.
the locust after
Right.
his kind, and the bow locust after his kind,
Mm-hmm.
and the beetle after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind.
Yep.
But all other flying creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you.
Right. It's a candy store. It's one on Madison, and it's one by the Oak Court Mall. It's called Sweet Notions. They actually sell grasshoppers and like chocolate covered grasshoppers. They sell suckers with the grasshopper in the middle of it and everything.
Yeah.
You know, if any one of y'all want to go get you some grasshoppers or something, I'm just throwing that out there. But go ahead.
Verse 44. And for these ye shall be unclean. Whosoever toucheth the carcass of them shall be unclean until the even.
I skip down to verse 28. Read 28 through 30, Hebrew. 28 through 30.
Verse 28.
Yeah.
And he that beareth the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the even.
Mm-hmm.
They are unclean unto you. These also shall be unclean unto you among the creeping things that creep upon the earth. The weasel, and the mouse, and the tortoise after his kind.
Turtle soup? No turtle soup? No turtle soup?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Go ahead, Hebrew.
And the ferret, and the chameleon, and the lizard, and the snail, and the mole.
Ain't snail escargot?
Yep,
Ain't that what they call escargot? For the fancy Negroes out there. The high class, civilized Negroes. Oh, I want some escargot.
Right.
Right? You in violation, Negro.
Yes, sir.
That was verse 30. Skip down to verse 44. Read 44 through 47, Hebrew. Read 44 through 47.
Verse 44.
Yeah.
For I am the Most High, your Elohim.
Mm-hmm.
Ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves, and ye shall be holy, for I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourselves with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. For I am the Most High, that bringeth you out of the land of Egypt, to be your power. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. This is the law of the beast, and of the fowl, and of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten.
My bad.
Hey, back when he said everything move, you can eat, that let you know right there he wasn't talking about sold everything.
Exactly.
It made no difference.
Exactly, Hebrew. Exactly. Let's drop this. Let's go to Isaiah 65. Isaiah 65. All right. So the common theme is, man, we supposed to stay away from unclean.
Yes, sir.
And cleave to the clean. It's a lesson within that in itself. All right. So in Isaiah time, the people of the Most High thought the Most High was playing about his dietary law. Let's see what he had to say about people who thought he was playing about what he laid down in the dietary law. All right, go ahead, Hebrew. Isaiah 65, 1 through 5.
Okay. So verse 1. I am sought of them that ask not for me. I am found of them that sought me not. I said, behold me, unto a nation that was not called by my name. I have spread out my hands all the days unto a rebellious people, which walketh in a way that is not good, after their own thoughts. A people that provoketh me to anger continually, to my face, that sacrifice in gardens.
Hold on. He said they provoke me to anger continually. So the Most High talking to us, and when he talked to us, he said, look, this people Israel makes me mad all the time. Most High, what they do to make you mad? Go ahead, Hebrew. Let's see what we do to make them mad. Go ahead.
That sacrifice in gardens.
All right, so we sacrifice, we idol worship, we worship other gods. Go ahead.
And burn incense upon altars of brick. Which remain among the graves.
We remain among the graves. Is this not our people to this day?
Yeah.
Remain among the graves to do what? To try to communicate with the dead. Our people do this to this day. Go to the gravestone and talk to the headstone. Can't nobody hear you.
Right.
Yes,
I know it's gonna hurt your feelings. Can't nobody hear you. Right. You confused anyway because you go to the graveyard, talk to the headstone, and then when you leave, you look up to the sky and kiss up to the sky. Well, are they in the ground or are they up there? Which one is it? He said the people who do this, they piss me off all the time. What else they do, Hebrew?
Enlarging monuments, which eat swine's flesh.
Which do what?
Eat swine's flesh and broth of abominable things.
And broth of abominable things. That go your crab leg boil.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 5. Which say, stand by thyself, come not near to me, for I am holier than thou.
And you can't tell these people nothing about they crab legs and they pork chops.
Yes, sir.
Can't tell them nothing. Go ahead, bro.
These are a smoke in my nose, a fire that burneth all the day.
He said, I'm always irritated with people who do these things. So those who are eating unclean things, he said, I'm always irritated with you. Always. You who stand among the graves, who sit among the graves, I'm irritated with you. You who idol worship, I'm always irritated with you. Don't ever think you good with me eating this swine. I'm always irritated. That fire burns in my nose all day long. Therefore, I'm always irritated with you. Isaiah 66, Hebrew. Isaiah 66. He said, I come not to destroy the law and the prophets. Well, the law done away with. Well, what about the prophets? What about this prophet right here? Is this done away with? Because this ain't been fulfilled yet. Isaiah 66, 15 through 17.
Okay.
15 through 17. Go ahead, bro.
All right, verse 15.
Yeah.
For behold, the Most High will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by sword will the Most High plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Most High shall be many.
Oh, so it says with fire and sword will he plead with all flesh, and the slain. That means those who he killed will be many. Well, why he gonna kill many people, Akti? Verse 17 gonna tell you why. Go ahead.
They that sanctify themselves.
Not those that are sanctified by me, but they set themselves apart by their own rules.
Yes, sir.
They sanctify themselves. Go ahead.
And purify themselves in the garden behind one tree in the midst.
So you purify yourself. If it's not by Christ, then it's by the one that's in the tree in the midst.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Eating swine's flesh.
Oh, he said, hey, the ones that I'm gonna kill, there's gonna be many. The ones eating swine flesh.
Swine.
Right. Go ahead.
And the abomination.
And the abomination, that covers any unclean thing.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Shall be consumed together, saith the Most High.
He ain't playing about that. He ain't playing about that. All right. Let's go to the next spot. Let's go to 2 Maccabees 6. 2 Maccabees 6. 2 Maccabees 6. I want to do a quick poll in the chat because I got the mother and 7 sons down here. Do y'all want to put that at the end as a bonus script, or we can go to that right after this one? Which one y'all want to do? I'll let y'all decide. Put it in the chat. Say after this or bonus scripture at the end. Y'all want to do the mother and 7 sons after this or at the end? But in the meantime, we're going to 2 Maccabees 6. 2 Maccabees 6, bro. We're going to pick this up at verse 1.
Okay.
2 Maccabees 6. Let me share the screen. All right, we got one bonus script.
Bonus.
2 bonus scripts. All right, 2 Maccabees chapter 6. We're gonna pick it up at verse 1. This just show you how real it is with Israelites in this pork thing. We ain't playing around with it. All right, pick it up at verse 1, Hebrew.
All right, family. So verse 1. Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers, and not to live after the laws of Elohim, and to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter, Olympus, and that in Gerizim and of Jupiter, the defender of strangers, as they did desire that dwelt in the place. The coming in of this mischief was sore and grievous to the people, for the temple was filled with riot and reveling by the Gentiles, who dallied with harlots and had to do with women within the circuit of the holy places. And besides that, brought in things that were not lawful.
So they pretty much turned our temple into a nightclub.
Yes, sir. I was just going to say, that's yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
That's crazy, brother.
Yep. Dying too. Look like you outnumbered on this one, Aki. Everybody saying bonus. We're gonna put that one at the end then. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
The altar also was filled with profane things, which the law forbiddeth. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. I almost said something. And in the day of the king's birth, every month, they were bought by bitter constraints to eat of the sacrifices. And when the fast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go in possession to Bacchus carrying ivy. Moreover, they went out and decreed a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews, that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices. And whoso would not conform themselves to the manner of the Gentiles shall be put to death. Then might a man have seen the present misery. For there were 2 women brought who had circumcised their children, whom when they had openly led around about the city, the babes handling at their breasts, they cast them down headlong from the wall.
All right, so look, hey, all the time keeping the law don't result in some good happening to you in this life.
Right.
right? It's gonna be a time. We coming up on this time where us keeping the law gonna be, life threatening for us.
Yes, sir.
But what you value
That's why I
more?
just read that part. By the time I saying you a Jew, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, that's coming up. That's why I was at it. That's definitely on the horizon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 11. And others that had run together into caves nearby to keep the Sabbath day secretly, being discovered by Philip, were all burnt together because they made a conscience to help themselves for the honor of the most sacred day.
Hey, the time coming where, we ain't gonna be up on this on YouTube on Friday and Saturday nights.
That's right.
It's gonna be, if you know the location, you know the location. If you don't, you just don't.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 12.
Yeah.
Now I beseech those that read this book that they be not discouraged for these calamities, but that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction.
You see that?
For a chastening of our nation.
He said, look, if you tortured for keeping the law, that's not your destruction.
Right.
That's just your punishment for your disobedience.
Yes, sir.
But that's peanuts compared to what your reward gonna be.
That's right, brother.
All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 13.
Yeah.
For it is a token of his great goodness when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished. For not as with other nations whom the Most High patiently forbeareth to punish, till they be come to the fullness of their sins, so dealeth he with us. Lest that being come to the height of sin afterward, he should take vengeance of us. That's right.
Yep.
And therefore, he never withdraweth his mercy from us. And though he punish with adversity, yet doth he never forsake his people. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
But let this, that we had spoken, be for a warning unto us. And now will we come to the declaring of the matter in a few words. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth to eat swine flesh. But he, you want me to keep reading this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but he choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spit it forth and came of his own accord to the torment.
You see what he did? It said he spit it forth and came to the torment. He walked to the torment on his own. He said, look, man, I'd rather die before I eat a piece of pig meat.
Yes, right.
Right? Go ahead, Hebrew 20.
Verse 20. As it behooved them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for love of life to be tasted. But they that had the charge of that wicked feast, for the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision, such as was lawful for him to use, and make as if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king.
All right, so they said, all right, oh man, we're going to take it easy on you. You ain't got to eat the pork. Here, take this piece of lamb. Take this clean meat and act like it's pork.
Right.
In the eyes of the people. Now look, to a Israelite that's already covered, he like, man, you know what? It ain't pork, it's lamb.
That's more.
Man, look, you didn't already sin. You didn't already sin.
Yeah, it's more wicked than you just eating it. You gonna cause everybody to fall out.
Facts. You letting your meat become a stumbling block before your brother. You can't even do that. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 22. That in so doing he might be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor. But he began to consider discreetly, and as became his age and the excellency of his ancient years, and the honor of his gray head, whereon was come, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law made and given by Elohim. Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straight ways to send him to the grave. For it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to dissemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being 80 years old and 10, were now gone to a strange religion. He's 90 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And so they, through my own hypocrisy and desire to live a little time and a moment longer, should be deceived by me. And I get stained to my old age and make it an abominable. For the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive
That's a
nor
miserable
dead.
life to live right there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you got away with your life for a second, but boy, you know when your eyes close, man, you already know them wicked angels coming to grab you up and take you to the left. That soul gonna see torments, boy, when you close your eyes.
Yeah, ain't gonna be just for no few seconds or a couple minutes.
So like, you gonna be one of them ones that's fighting to stay, that's doing everything in their power to not take the dirt nap at that point. I'm on this new pill. It's supposed to slow down the aging process.
All right.
When y'all hear Bruce talking about they doing something to slow down aging process, watch them. They probably did something they can't come back from in the spiritual realm.
And there you go.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 27.
Yeah.
Wherefore now, manfully charging this life, I will show myself such as one as my age requireth, and leave a notable example to such as be young to die willingly and courageously for the honorable and holy laws. Yes, sir.
That's right.
And when he had said these words, immediately he went to the torment. They that led him, changing the good will, they bear him a little before into hatred, because the foresaid speeches proceeded as they thought for a desperate mind. From a desperate mind, I'm sorry. But when he was ready to die with stripes, he groaned and said, it is manifest unto the Most High that hath a holy knowledge, that whereas I might have been delivered from death, I now endure sore pains in body by being beaten. But in soul I am well content to suffer these things, because I fear him. And thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of a noble courage and a memorial of virtue, not only unto young men, but unto all his nation. Yes, sir.
Hallelujah. So our forefathers would have rather died than to eat something unclean.
Yes,
we
sir.
ought to adopt that same mindset, y'all. We ought to adopt that same mindset. Let's go to Matthew 15, Hebrew. Matthew 15, pick it up at verse 1. Matthew 15, verse 1. Matthew 15, verse 1. Go ahead, bro, when you get it.
Matthew 15 and 1. Then came Yeshua, scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread.
All right, so now we got the context. Verse 2 tells you the context about everything else that you about to read in this chapter. It's not about taking the dietary law off the table. The Pharisees were concerned with, why do the disciples of Christ transgress their traditions, not the law, their traditions, because they didn't wash their hands before they ate. Everybody that's involved in this story right now keeps the dietary law.
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 3.
Yeah.
But he answered and said unto them, Why do you also transgress the commandments of Elohim by your tradition? For Elohim commanded, saying, honor thy father and mother, and he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death.
All right, so the Pharisees had added their own stipulations to certain laws. Right? One to the dietary law was something that they added. You got to do all type of different washings. It's like when you read it, you got to wash all the way up to your elbows or some crazy mess like that.
Right.
That ain't in our law. That's what they added, and they was holding brothers and sisters to that. Right? Go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 4. I'm sorry, no. Verse 5. But ye say, whosoever shall say to his father or mother, it is. I'm sorry, where am I at, man?
Just pick it up in verse 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
For Elohim commanded, saying, honor thy father and mother, and he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death. But ye say, whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, it is a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me, and honor not his father or his mother, he shall be free. Thus have ye made the commandment of Elohim of none effect by your tradition. Ye hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying, this people draw nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
All right, so the Messiah, he went back to Isaiah. He said, look, Isaiah was speaking to people like this. He was speaking to people who take my laws and make my laws none effect with their traditions. He spoke, he said Isaiah was speaking to people who honor me with their lips, but their mind is far from me, right? Go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 9. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
He said, if you worship me through teachings of doctrines of commandments of men, your worship of me is in vain.
Yes, sir.
It don't count for nothing. If you not worshiping me in spirit and truth how I want you to, it's in vain. Verse 10, Hebrew.
Verse 10.
Yeah.
And he called the multitude and said unto them, hear and understand. Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man.
You see that now? Some people may have a question. They may say, now, how we been reading all this stuff about the dietary law, and the Messiah said right here, it's not that which goes into the mouth that defileth the man. Well, because for one, right here, Matthew 15, the topic is not the dietary law.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Everybody there was law keepers. Therefore, what was understood didn't have to be explained. They understood when he made this statement. They understood he wasn't telling you that you can eat unclean foods, because that was never the topic of conversation to begin with. The topic of conversation was, why do your disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? They don't wash their hands before they eat. Look, if I don't wash my hands before I touch that chicken and put it in my mouth, that don't defile me. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 12.
Yeah.
Then came his disciples and said unto him, knowest thou that the Pharisees were offended after they heard this saying? But he answered and said, every plant which my heavenly Father hath not planted shall be rooted up. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch.
Go ahead, Hebrew.
Then answered Peter and said unto him, declare unto us this parable. And Yeshua said, are ye also yet without understanding?
Right. So maybe the disciples' mind was, hold on. Maybe their minds went there. Because they said they ain't understand. They like, hold on, is he telling us what I think? Is he saying what I think he's saying? We can.
Right.
Go ahead. He finna explain. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 17.
Yeah.
Do not yet understand that whatsoever entered in at the mouth goeth into the belly and is cast out into the draught. But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man.
You see that? He talking about character. He talking about character. Go ahead, bro. 19.
For out of the heart proceeded evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornication, thefts, false witness, blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashed hands defileth not the man.
You see that? So the topic was never unclean foods and clean foods.
Right.
It was eating with unwashed hands. Does it defile a man or not?
Right.
He said the things that come out your mind and proceed out your mouth is what defiles a man. Our physical laws even told us that laws about discharge. You had a discharge. You was unclean. Yeah. Something that's coming out of you made you unclean.
Yes, sir.
The thought of murder, and then when it manifests in your actions, you defile.
Yes, sir.
That's what he's talking about. Let's go to Acts 10. Acts 10, y'all. Acts chapter 10. Acts chapter 10. If somebody got some understanding on that, put some sevens up in the room.
Yes, sir.
Acts chapter 10. When you get it, Hebrew, go ahead.
You want me to start at 1?
Yeah, 1. Verse 1. Yep.
All right, family. So Acts 10 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band, a devout man and one that feareth Elohim with all his house, which gave much alms to the people and prayed to Elohim always. He saw in a vision, evidently about the 9th hour of the day, an angel of Elohim coming into him and saying unto him, Cornelius. And when he looked on him, he was afraid and said, What is it, Lord? And he said unto him, Thy prayers and thy alms are come up for a memorial before Elohim.
All right, so this was a centurion out of the Italian band who gave alms to the people of Israel. His name was Cornelius, right?
Yes, sir.
This is a heathen. I know some Israelites, they want to make everybody in the Bible Israelites. Well, you know, Ruth, she was really Israelites in Moab.
Shut up,
you know, Cornelius, he was really an Israelite in the Italian band. You know, everybody, come on now. Balance, y'all, balance. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
And now send men to Joppa and call for one Simon, whose surname is Peter. He lodged with one of Simon, a tanner, whose house is by the seaside. He shall tell thee what thou oughtest to do. And when the angel which spake unto Cornelius was departed, he called 2 of his household servants and a devout soldier of them that waited on him continually. And when he had declared all these things unto them, he sent them to Joppa.
I skip down the verse. Skip that. Yeah, verse 9. Keep reading. My bad. Keep reading, Hebrew. Go ahead.
Okay, verse 9.
Yeah.
On the morrow, as they went on their journey and drew nigh unto the city, Peter went up upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour. And he became very hungry and would have eaten. But while they made ready, he fell into a trance and saw heaven open and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the 4 corners and let down to the earth, wherein were all manner of 4-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat.
Now, the Christians, they gonna stop right there. They ain't gonna read nothing else. They ain't gonna read the rest of the story.
Right.
They gonna stop right there. They gonna see the wild beasts, the creeping things, all the fowl. Now, look, but only in their mind, you know what all they see? They just see shrimp, catfish, and pig. That's all they see. See, he said right here, rise, Peter, kill and eat.
If that's valid, go eat a rat.
Right. Hey, break all of them.
I hate to say some of them would eat a rat.
They would.
Mm-hmm.
They would. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
But Peter said, not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean.
You see that? Peter said, and this after the death of Christ.
Yes, sir.
Peter, in Peter's mind, he's still making the distinction between the clean and unclean after Christ's death.
Yes, sir.
He like, not so, Lord. He said, I ain't never ate nothing common or unclean. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 15. And the boy spake unto him again the second time, what Elohim hath cleansed, that call not thou common. This was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again into heaven.
All right, so it says, what God have cleansed, call not thou common. They'll stop at this verse.
Yes,
sir. Yes, see, you don't know what you're talking about. See, let me get down to verse 15. They think they know what they talking about. They gonna think he know he talking about when he start doing all that. See, hold on. See, let me finish. See, let me get to verse 15. See, what God has cleansed, you can't call that common, brother. He did it 3 times.
Yeah.
They think they teaching you something.
But did he eat?
Right. Did he eat?
Did he eat it?
Yeah. And then there's another question you need to ask. Okay, is verse 15 the end of the story?
Nope.
Uh-oh.
Because if it ain't, we need to keep reading.
Yes, sir.
Let's keep reading then, Hebrew. Go ahead.
Verse 17. Now, while Peter doubted in himself what this vision which he had seen should mean, behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simon's house and stood before the gate.
All right, so now look, even though Peter doubted, he still didn't say, I'm just gonna assume. Nah, he still didn't eat.
Yes.
He didn't assume. He like, man, I need more clarity on this because I know the Most High wouldn't deem something clean and tell me he to cleanse everything. All right.
Yes,
so keep reading, Hebrew. We're gonna read this all the way through down to verse 36.
Okay. So verse 18. And called and asked whether Simon, which was surnamed Peter, were lodged there. While Peter thought on the vision, the Ruach said unto him, behold, 3 men seek thee. Arise, therefore, and get thee down, and go with them, doubting nothing, for I have sent them. Then Peter went down to the men which were sent unto him from Cornelius, and said, behold, I am he whom ye seek. What is the cause wherefore ye are come? And they said, Cornelius, the centurion, a just man, and one that feareth Elohim, and of good report among all the nation of the Jews, was warned from Elohim by an holy angel to send for thee into his house, and to hear words of thee. Then called he them in and lodged them. And on the morrow Peter went away with them, and certain brethren from Joppa accompanied him. And the morrow after they entered into Caesarea, and Cornelius waited for them, and had called together his kinsmen and his friends. And as Peter was coming in, Cornelius met him and fell down at his feet and worshipped him. But Peter took him up, saying, stand up, I myself also am a man. And as he talked with him, he went in and found many that were come together. And he said unto them, ye know how that it is unlawful. It is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation. But Elohim hath showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean.
You see that? So this ain't about food.
Right.
See, all we gotta do is keep reading. He said, this is so that I won't call any man common or unclean, because you know what the prophecy saying, Amos 9? He said, I'm gonna build up the tabernacles of David.
Right.
And then he said, I'm gonna take out of the Gentile, and they gonna follow after me. And then the brother James quoted that in Acts 15.
Mm.
This was the start of that. And it's going to come into full force in the last days where you're going to see all of them start saying, man, our fathers didn't inherit the lies, man.
Yes, sir.
We're going to get with the program.
Mm.
What verse you at, Hebrew?
29.
29. Go ahead.
Therefore came I unto you without gainsaying, as soon as I was sent for. I asked therefore, what intent ye have sent for me? And Cornelius said, 4 days ago, I was fasting until this hour. And at the 9th hour, I prayed in my house, and behold, a man stood before me in bright clothing and said, Cornelius, thy prayer is heard, and thy alms are had in remembrance in the sight of Elohim. Send therefore to Joppa and call hither Simon, whose surname is Peter. He is lodged in the house of one Simon, a tanner by the seaside, who when he cometh shall speak unto thee. Immediately therefore I sent to thee, and thou hast well done that thou art come. Now therefore we are all here present before Elohim to hear all things that are commanded thee of Elohim.
That's right. Go ahead.
Then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth I perceive that Elohim is no respecter of persons, but in every nation he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him.
You see that? It says, but in every nation he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him.
Yes, sir.
All right. And we'll have a BTTB lesson on these topics as well, too. All right. Go ahead, Hebrew, verse 36, and we're going to drop that and go to something else.
Okay. The word which Elohim sent unto the children of Israel preaching peace by Yeshua HaMashiach. He is the power of all.
Hallelujah. Let's drop that. Let's go to the next spot. Now, hey, so Matthew 15 and Acts 10 is not making all meats clean. Now that we got clarity on that, let's go to Romans 7, verse 14. One verse. Romans 7 and verse 14, Hebrew.
Copy that.
When you get it, go ahead.
All right, family. So verse 14. For we know that the law is spiritual.
For we know that the law is spiritual.
Yes, sir.
Right? Even our dietary law, right? Go ahead, Hebrew.
But I am carnal, sold under sin.
But I am carnal, sold under sin. Let's grab this testament of Asher, chapter 1. Let's grab this testament of Asher, chapter 1. How you pull that up?
I gotta look down in the corner. See that W down in the right hand corner?
It is purple thing.
Yeah. You gotta share your screen though. I already got it pulled up for you. Just share your screen. Go back and share your screen. Minimize that back down.
Okay.
Minimize that back down. Go back to your screen, y'all. And share your screen. Then you pull it back up. You got to share whole screen. Share entire screen.
Where you see that at? Oh, okay. I see it.
Yeah. You double click on. All right, now go back and pull your ash up.
All right.
Make sure you're sharing. There you go.
It's up there. All right, y'all. Testament of Asher. We're going to pick it up at chapter 1. What page is that? 817?
That's 816.
Okay. All right.
Let's start on 816.
All right, cool. I help mine too, Hebrew. Pick it up at chapter 1. Let's do chapters 1 through 6.
Okay.
Well, you go.
Yeah. We're gonna cover all of it.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Testament of Asher, chapter 1. We're gonna do chapters 1 through 6. They short chapters. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Okay, so verse 1. A copy of the testament of Asher, the things he spoke to his sons in the 125th year of his life, while he was still healthy. He said to them, listen, children of Asher, to your father, and I will show you everything that is right in the sight of Elohim. Elohim has granted 2 ways to the sons of men, 2 mindsets.
You see that? The 2 ways is 2 mindsets. Go ahead, bro.
2 lines of action, 2 models, 2 goals.
All right, so 2 goals. You can either accomplish good or evil, righteousness or wickedness.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, bro.
Accordingly, everything is in pairs, the one over against the other. The two ways are good and evil.
All right, so everything is in pairs. And the pairs, one is against the other one. Good and evil. Up and down. In and out. Night and day.
Yes, sir.
Black and white. Sin and righteousness.
Yes, sir.
Kingdom of heaven, a lake of fire. Everything is in pairs and one is against the other. They are opposites of the other.
Choose.
So you cannot have, there is never an event where both things that are against another can coexist with each other.
So ain't no gray area.
Ain't no gray area. You cannot be good and evil.
Yeah.
Right.
You cannot chew the cud and have a split hoof.
Mm.
Right?
No, you can't. You gotta chew the cud and have a split hood.
I'm saying you can't chew the cud
And not
have a split hoof.
Yeah.
That's right. I know
Yeah.
I said it backwards.
Yeah.
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 Y'all know what I meant. All right, go ahead. Appreciate that. Go ahead.
Concerning them are two dispositions within our breast that choose between them. If the soul wants to follow the good way, all of its deeds are done in righteousness.
Hold on, some of them.
All of them.
See, he says, see, if you want to follow the good way, all your deeds got to be righteous.
Come on, bro.
Mm.
All right, go ahead, bro.
And every sin is immediately repented.
See, you don't let it fester.
That's right.
And I know I cussed that brother out, man. I repent when I wake up in the morning and say my morning prayer.
May
No,
not be.
immediately.
Yes, sir.
Right? This is those who follow the good way. This is how they operate. Now, if you don't want to follow the good way, then you don't operate like this.
That's right.
You let sin fester. You hear that voice in your head saying repent for that, and you put it off until later.
Yes, sir.
You're not following the good way. Go ahead, bro.
Excuse me. Contemplating just deeds and rejecting wickedness, the soul overcomes evil and uproots sin.
Mm.
But if the mind is disposed toward evil, all of its deeds are wicked, driving out the good. It accepts the evil and it overmasters by Beliar.
You see that? Pay attention to what it said. It said, but if the mind is disposed towards evil, all of its deeds are wicked, driving out the good.
Mm-hmm.
So even if an evil person does good, if it's evil mixed in with the good, the evil drives the good right up out of there. So is any of your good counted for your favor? No. If you selling dope and pills and lean to the community, killing the community, is you passing out turkeys on Thanksgiving counted for your good? No, it is not.
Yes, sir.
If you secretly committing adultery and all this, but you on the street corner every Saturday, you in front of the camera every Friday, does that excuse your good? No, it does not. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Who even when good is undertaken, presses the struggle so as to make the aim of his action into evil. Since the devil's storehouse is filled with the venom of the evil spirit.
Chapter 2.
The soul, they say, may be in words expressed good for the sake of evil, but the outcome of the action leads to evil. There's a man who has no mercy on the one who serves him in performing an evil deed.
You see that? So there's a man out there who has no mercy on the one who doing him a favor. So after he finished using him, he'll kill him after he finished using him.
Right. We see that in the movie. You know.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
There are two aspects of this, but the whole is wicked.
You see that? He says there are two aspects to this, but the whole is wicked. There's a righteous aspect to this now. See, this is where the tricky part comes in.
Right, brother.
Right.
See, he don't have no mercy on the one performing the evil deed. So it seems like he hates wicked men. But he having the one that's performing the evil deed that he don't have no mercy on to accomplish some evil for him.
That's right.
So even though you don't have no mercy on the wicked, but you will still allow him to do an evil deed for you, the Most High don't care nothing about you hating that man because he wicked. You just as wicked.
Yes, sir.
And see, some people are compromising their mind. Well, see, this nigga, he ain't doing right no way. But you benefiting off of his wickedness, though.
Right.
I'm gonna cut him out, see, because he ain't doing right no way. And you think you're gonna be blessed for that, but you getting all the benefits from what he did, and you think you doing something good by cutting him out of it.
Right.
He said, look, it's two aspects to it, but the whole thing is evil.
Wicked, yeah.
Go ahead, Hebrew.
And there is a man who loves the one who does evil, as he himself involves in evil, so that he would choose to die in evil for the evildoer's sake. That's that ride or die there.
Yeah, that's the ride or die.
Yeah.
Now, y'all out here in a shootout, and you jump in front, and y'all committing wickedness to be in the shootout to begin with, and you jump in front of your partner to save his life.
Right.
But y'all just tried to rob a man. And you think because you died for your partner in the line of fire when y'all was committing wickedness that's gonna be counted for your good? It's two aspects to that.
Yes, sir.
Love my brother.
I got love for even the Bible say ain't no greater love than dying for your brother. Yeah, but not committing wickedness. It didn't say that.
That's right.
He gonna look over the fact that you died for your brother, and he gonna ask you about now why was y'all trying to rob that man anyway?
That's right.
Then he got the ups on you and killed your partner.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
There are also two aspects of this, but the whole situation is evil. Although indeed love is there.
You see that? He said, even though love is there, he died for his partner.
Yeah.
That's love.
Yeah.
He said, but yet in wickedness, evil is concealed. They was doing something wicked when he died. Go ahead, bro.
Yet in wickedness is evil concealed. In name it is as though it were good. But the outcome of the act is to bring evil.
You see, y'all, the act was to rob that man. And then look what he said. He said, in name, on the surface, it looked like something honorable.
Yeah.
Man,
that's what we're going to say at the service. You know?
Go ahead, Hebrew.
Someone steals, deals unjustly, robs, cheats, but yet it has pity on the poor.
See, that's the street dude. We all know somebody like that. Man, that did all type of dirt in these streets, but do toy drives around Christmas. Do turkey drives, passing out turkey school supplies. It's two aspects to that. It's a righteous aspect to that, He got pity on the poor. He get back to the hood. He poisoned the hood too. He done broke up a lot of families on that crack.
Yeah.
Destroyed a lot of lives.
Yes, sir.
Shedded a lot of blood. But he had mercy on the poor, though. Go ahead, Hebrew.
This also has two aspects, but is evil as a whole. He who cheats his neighbor provokes Elohim's wrath. Who serves falsely before the Most High, and yet has mercy on the poor, disregards the Most High, who uttereth the law, commands. He provoked him, and yet he alleviates the plight of the poor day laborer.
I see this the fake brew. he righteous in front of everybody. You know, he the alms deed. He the first one at the alms deed.
Right.
Because the reason why he the first one at the alms deed, because he think that's gonna cover all his wickedness we don't see. See, it's two aspects to that.
Yes, sir.
It's a righteous one that he give to the poor. But guess what? What we read earlier. Look, when you wicked, hey, that wickedness drive out the good.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, bro.
He defiles the soul and takes pride in his own body.
Big Ross,
men,
righteous sinner. That's right. Go ahead, bro.
Yet has pity on a few. There also has two aspects, but is evil as a whole. Someone else commits adultery and is sexually promiscuous, yet is athirness in his eating. While
so somebody who screwing out of both pants legs, but they fasting all the time.
Yeah.
Stop. Just go on, just keep doing what you're doing.
But see, they think the fasting gonna wipe out that adultery.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
While fasting, he is committing evil deeds. Though the power of his wealth, he ravages many. And yet, in spite of his excessive evil, he performs the commandments. This also has two aspects, but is evil as a whole. Such hairs.
Hold on, bro. He says such persons are hares.
Yes, sir.
That's an unclean animal.
Yes,
why are they
sir.
hares, Hebrew? Go ahead.
Because although they are halfway clean, in truth they are unclean.
Woo.
But this is what Elohim has said on the table of the commandments.
Oh, so this is the deeper truth that he was trying to give to us in Leviticus 11:6 about the hair.
Right.
Yes, sir.
He said, don't be halfway righteous.
Right.
Remember the hair, it chewed the cud. But what it say, they had a split hoof.
It don't have the cloven hoof.
It don't have the cloven hoof.
And like you said, our hair is screwing out of both ends.
Yeah.
They hitting and quitting everything. They look cute.
Mm-hmm.
They look harmless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go ahead, bro. We might go past 3 hours tonight, y'all. We still got a lot more to go. I don't want to cut it, man. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 3. Chapter 4. But you, my children, do not be two-faced like them, one good and the other evil. Rather cling only to goodness, because it is the Most High Elohim is at rest, and men aspire to it. Flee from evil tendency, destroying the devil by your good works. For those who are two-faced are not of Elohim, but they are enslaved to their evil desires, so that they might be pleasing to Beliar and persons like themselves.
Hallelujah. So this is why you have to eat the animals with all the clean characteristics. Why? Because spiritually it's teaching us to not be halfway clean, to not be two-faced. That's the spiritual thing that the point that it was trying to get across to us. Hebrew chapter 4. Go ahead. Being single-minded. Go ahead, bro.
For persons who are good, who are single-minded, even though they are considered by the two-faced to be sinners, are righteous before Elohim. You
see that? Now look, those who are single-minded are considered to be sinners by the two-faced. Go ahead, Hebrew. This a crazy phenomenon, ain't it?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead, bro. Now let's see why. Go ahead.
For many who destroy the wicked perform two works, good and evil. But it is good as a whole because evil is uprooted and destroyed.
Okay, go ahead.
One person hates the man who thought merciful is also unjust.
You see that? So, okay. So now you got a righteous brother. And he can't stand this one brother because he know he adultery. He know he hitting everything in the class. But this brother on the same token, he real merciful. A merciful adulterous old little brother. You see that? Go ahead, Hebrew.
Or who is an adulterer, even though he fasts and thus is two-faced.
And this brother fasts too. He merciful, he fasts, but you know he hitting everything in the clay. Go ahead.
But his work is good as a whole.
Now look. His work is good as a whole. Why? Because he can't stand that brother. Because he know he in wickedness. He can't stand the wickedness. But you know, some people, they'll know that their brother merciful, and because they ain't peeped the adultery yet, they just see him being merciful. And, oh, that brother always fasting, man. You know what they'll say when they see the good brother executing judgment on their brother? Oh man, you evil. Well, you might be two-faced then, brother. The scripture right here saying that's good as a whole.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Hebrew.
Because he imitates the Most High, not accepting the seeming good as though it were the truly good.
You see that? So he ain't falling for the wool. He ain't got the wool pulled over his eyes like everybody else in the congregation.
Right.
I done seen this brother. He said, I'm not accepting that surface level righteousness. That's good as a whole right there. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Another person does not want to see any pleasant days among the convivial, lest they disgrace the body and pollute the soul. This also has two aspects, but is good on the whole. For such persons are like gazelles and stags. In appearance, they seem wild and unclean, but as a whole, they are clean.
Yeah.
They live by zeal for the Most High, abstaining from what Elohim hates and has forbidden through the commandments, staving off evil by the good.
All right, so he said it's another person that they go out into Babylon and they not all happy-go-lucky because they know what this world heading.
Right.
Instead, their whole attitude is rebuke, repent. They don't care nothing about having no good times among the people in this world.
Right.
Now look, to the two-faced, they like, man, that nigga don't like nothing. He always condemning and judging and getting on our rear ends about something.
Right.
They think you the one that's messed up because you like that.
Right.
They say, man, to you seem like an unclean animal. He said, but hey, as a whole, they clean. You know why? It says because you hate what the Most High hate. And you stave off the evil by good, Hebrew. Let's keep reading chapter 5. Go to chapter 5.
Copy that.
Go to chapter 5. Y'all getting some understanding. Put some sevens up in the room.
Yes, sir. That's some good eating up.
All praises. All praises. Go ahead, bro.
Chapter 5. Children, you see how in everything there are two factors, one against the other, one concealed by the other. And possessions is greed, and merriment is drunkenness, and laughter is lamentation, and marriage is dissoluteness. Death is successor to life, dishonor to glory, night to day, darkness to light. And in all these things lead ultimately to day. Righteous action to life, unjust action to death. Since eternal life life wards of death. One cannot say truth is a lie, nor a righteous act is unjust, because all truth is subject ultimately to the light, just as all things are subject ultimately to Elohim.
Right.
I have demonstrated all these things in my life, and have not stayed from the Most High's truth. I have searched out the commandments of the Most High and lived them according to all my strength. Yes, sir.
Chapter 6.
You also, my children, give attention to the Most High's command, pursuing the truth with singleness of mind.
That's what we should have got from our dietary law. Singleness of mind. Follow the good only.
Yes, sir.
Not mix the evil with good, because if we mix the evil with good, y'all, the good is driven out by the evil. That's and the whole thing is, even though it's two aspects to it, the whole thing is considered evil. That's what our dietary law was trying to teach us by saying, look, these are the animals you consume with the part hoof, the cloven foot, and chew the cud.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
The two-faced are doubly punished because they both practice evil and approve of others who practice it. They imitate the spirits of error and join in the struggle against mankind. You, therefore, my children, keep the law of the Most High. Do not pay attention to the evil as to good, but have regard for what is really good and keep it thoroughly in all the Most High's commandments, taking in it as your way of life and finding rest in it. For the ultimate end of human beings displays this righteousness, since they are made known of the angels of the Most High and of Beliar, who when the evil souls depart, it is harassed by the evil spirit, which is served through its desire and evil works. But if anyone is peaceful with joy, he comes to know the angel of peace and enters eternal life. Yes.
All right, let's drop that, Hebrew. Let's go to something else.
Let's
go to something else. Let me pull it up. We finna go to the letter of Aristides. Let me pull it up for y'all real quick. Hebrew, I'm gonna read this from my screen, all right? Because I ain't. Well, you know what? This it is in the pseudepigraph. I'm tripping.
Yeah, it's in volume. Yeah. It's in the volume 2, ain't it?
Yep, volume 2. Volume 2, y'all. Letter of Aristides. It's in the pseudepigraph for volume 2. We're gonna read like 30 of these verses. We're gonna read 30 of these verses. And just a little background, the letter of Aristides, it is telling you the story on how the scriptures was translated into the Greek, or how the Septuagint came about, actually. All right, so this brother give out some real good information around. We're gonna pick it up around verse 141, Hebrew, and we're gonna read through 171. All right,
141.
Yup. And hold on, let me pull it up. See if I can pull it up on the internet. If I can't, then yeah, I just had to read.
What, letter Richie?
Yeah.
You going to volume 2? You said in volume 2, right?
Yeah.
Minimize the whole screen.
Minimize this whole screen.
Minimize it.
This too.
Yeah. You see those pseudos up there?
Okay.
Page 22. Page 22.
I'm already pulled up.
Ooh.
You see volume 2? Which one's lit up already?
I believe this. Okay. This is this the other one.
Right. You'll click on the one right above the blue. I don't know which one you clicked on.
Okay.
Type in the page number up there. You see what the page number is?
Yeah. What page you say, Hebrew? 20 what?
22.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Make sure you still sharing. I don't think you're sharing right now.
Nah, I'm finna get it back. Hold on. Damn, where the page go? Hold on. What is it? Safari? Nah, I'm tripping.
No.
Chrome.
It's down where the W's at.
Okay, yeah.
That purple W.
Yeah, I see it. I'm finna share. I just had to get my. Hold on, y'all. Let me get it together over here.
Yes, sir. Take your time, man.
All right.
Hey, hold that book up to the camera for that one sister. She said she ain't got them books. Show
Okay.
the cover of them books.
All right. Let me stop the screen real quick. Since this is the Old Testament pseudepigraph for volume 2, this how it look. This how it look right here. Volume 2 got the little blue letters on it. All right.
She can get, you can get them on Amazon, sis.
Yo, you can get them on Amazon. And then this is volume 1. They got the purple letters on it. You can order them off Amazon with $30-40. Yep, $30-40. All right, now let me share the screen again so we can go and get into this, Hebrew. Like we're gonna do 141 through what I say 171.
Okay.
All right.
You want me to start at that such concerns?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So such concerns are of no account among the people of our race, but throughout the whole of their lives, their main objective is concerned with the sovereignty of Elohim. So to prevent our being perverted by contact with others or by mixing with bad influences,
Mm-hmm.
he hedges us on all sides with strict observances. Connect with meat, connected with meat and drink and touch and hearing and sight, after the manner of the law. In general, everything is similarly constituted in regard to natural reasoning, being governed by the one supreme power.
You see that? He said, in general, everything is constituted in regard to natural reasoning.
Yes, sir.
All right, so he said everything was put in place. All those laws were put in place to deal with your mind. All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
And in each particular, everything has a profound reason for it. Both the things from which were abstained in use and those of which we partake. For illustration, I will briefly give you one of two examples. Do not take this contemptible view that Moses enacted this legislation because of an excessive preoccupation with mice, and that Moses enacted, with mice and weasels or such like creatures.
Right, go ahead. So he's saying, don't think that Moses did all Leviticus 11 just because he had a fascination with animals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Go ahead.
The fact is that everything has been solemnly set in order for embellished investigation and amendment of life for the sake of righteousness. The birds which we use are all domesticated and of exceptional cleanliness. Their food consisting of wheat and pulse.
You see that? So that's big. I wanna touch on that. Okay. Because it says the birds, right? It says which we use are all domesticated of exceptional cleanliness.
Yes, sir.
Their food consisting of wheat and pulse. Now, nowadays, you look at the chicken, and this is why a lot of brews have a problem with the chicken, and we're gonna touch more on it when we get into this last leg of this class. The chicken is eating its own kind now. Right? So a lot of people have a problem with that. But like I said, we're going to address that. We're going to iron that out later. But I just want to point that out just to set that point up for later on in the lesson. But go ahead, Hebrew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Such birds as pigeons, turtle doves, locusts, partridges, and in addition, geese and other of the same kind as the birds which are forbidden, you will find wild and carnivorous kinds, and the rest which dominate by their own strength, and who find their food at the expense of the aforementioned domesticated birds.
So he says all the birds which were forbidden, they eat all the clean birds.
Right.
Go ahead, bro.
Which is an injustice. And not only that, they also seize lambs and kids and outrage human beings, dead or alive. By calling them impure, he has thereby indicated that it is the solemn binding duty of those for whom the legislation has been established to practice righteousness and do not lord it over anyone in reliance upon their own strength, nor to deprive him of anything, but to govern their lives righteously in the manner of the general creatures among the aforementioned birds, which feed on those plants which grow on the ground and do not exercise a domination leading to the destruction of their fellow creatures.
You see that? So he gave us to show you the wicked birds. Hey, don't be like them.
Right.
They steal, they take from people. They use their strength to devour people. They prey on those who ain't trying to prey on nobody else. Huh? All these things are character things Moses was trying to show us in this dietary law. Go ahead, Hebrew.
By means of creatures like this, the legislator has handed down the lesson to be noted by men of wisdom that they should be righteous and not achieve anything by brute force, nor lord it over others in reliance upon their own strength. In cases where it is not meet even to touch any of the aforesaid creatures because of their natural habits with other creatures, surely all possible precautions must be taken to prevent human morals degenerating to their level. Everything pertaining to the conduct permitted to us toward these creatures and toward beasts has been set out symbolically. Thus the cloven hoof, that is the separation of the claws of the hoof, is a sign of setting apart each of our actions for good.
Hallelujah. So now we know what the cloven hoof means.
Yes, sir.
Right? That you order all your steps, everything you do, make sure it's righteous. The next word that come out your mouth, make sure it's righteous.
Yes, sir.
The next thought that come up in your head, make sure it's righteous. Right? Go ahead, Hebrew.
Because the strength of the whole body with its action rests upon the shoulders and the legs, the symbolism conveyed by these things compels us to make a distinction in the performance of all our acts, with righteousness as our aim.
That's right.
This, moreover, explains why we are distinct from all other men. The majority of other men defile themselves in their relationships, thereby committing a serious offense, and lands and whole cities take pride in it. They not only procure the males, they also defile mothers and daughters. We are quite separated from these practices. The man with whom the aforesaid manner of disposition is concerned is the man of whom the legislator has also stamped that of memory. For example, all cloven-footed creatures are ruminants, quite clearly expressed to those who perceive it. The phenom of memory, rumination, is nothing but the recalling of the creature life and constitution, life being usually constituted by nourishment. So we exhort through scripture, also by one who says thus, thou shalt remember the Most High, who did great and wondrous deeds in thee. When they are really understood, they are manifestly great and glorious. First, there is the construction of the body, the digestion of the food, and specific functions connected with each limb. Much more, the orderly arrangement of the senses, the operation and unseen activity of the mind, and the speed of its reaction to each stimulus, and its invention of arts and crafts involves an infinite variety of methods.
All right, so he talked about rumination, which he was talking about the chewing of the cud, right? So the animal would chew the cud, they chew their food, they regurgitate it, and they chew it again. So the point of all that for us is to constantly remember the goodness and the acts and the righteous acts of the Most High. That's what that is, to keep throwing it back up, throw those laws back up in your mind.
Yes, sir.
Throw those memories of all the goodness and grace and mercy the Most High that shows you throughout your life. Keep that in your mind. Keep regurgitating that.
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead, Hebrew.
So he exhorts us to remember how the aforesaid blessings are maintained and preserved by divine power under his providence. For he has ordained every time and place for a continual reminder of the supreme Elohim and upholder of all. Accordingly, in the manner of meats and drinks, he commanded men to offer first fruits and to consume them that are then straightway. Furthermore, in our clothes, he has given us a distinguishing mark as a reminder. And similarly, on our gates and doors, he has commanded us to set up the words so as to be a reminder of Elohim. He also strictly commanded that the sign shall be worn on our hands, clearly indicating that it is our duty to fulfill every activity with justice, having in mind our condition, and above all, the fear of Elohim. He also commanded that on going to bed and rising, men should meditate on the ordinances of Elohim.
So there's even a spiritual aspect to the going to bed and rising.
Yes, sir.
He like, look, that man, he meditate on it day and night. Go ahead, bro. The law is spiritual.
Observing not only in word but in understanding the movement and impression which they have when they go to sleep and waking too. What a divine change there is between them, quite beyond understanding. I have already demonstrated to you the extraordinary nature of the sound reason behind our distinctive characteristic of memory when we expounded the cloven hoof and chewing the cud. It is no chance accident that it has been ordained as part of our very soul, but it is bound up with the truth and the expression of the right reason. After prescribing each set of regulations concerning meats and drinks, the matters relating to touch, he commanded that no act be done, nor word be heard to no purpose, and that no one use should be made of the power of the spoken word to incline toward injustice. The same principle can be found in the case of beasts, because the character of weasel and mice and all creatures like them which have been described is mischievous. Mice pollute and defile everything, not only for their own nourishment, but also to the intent of rendering absolutely useless for human beings everything which comes.
You see that it says, so mice, they pollute and defile everything for their own benefit and nourishment. So a person who got a mouse mindset, they don't care who they hurt to get what they need to get. That's a mouse.
Right.
A rat.
They used to call some of them rats back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, nowadays we think a snitch is a rat. But we live by the scriptures. What the scriptures call a rat, man? A rat is somebody, man, who will hurt anybody, anything, just to better themselves. Yeah, that's a rat to us. Go ahead.
But also to the extent of rendering absolutely useless for human beings everything which comes their way to defile. The species of weasel is unique. Apart from the aforementioned characteristic, it has nothing polluting feature. That of conceiving through its ears and producing its young through its mouth. Dang. Well, I ain't never heard nothing like that.
Are you a weasel? You got an unclean mouth? You have unlawful sexual relations? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
unlawful unions, having unlawful unions and all that. Go ahead, bro.
So for this reason, any similar feature in men is unclean. Men who hear anything and give physical expression to it by word of mouth, thus embroiling other people is evil. In evil, commit no ordinary act of uncleanness.
Hey, so look, for now on, we ain't even calling tailbearers no more. We finna start calling them weasels. People who act like rats, let's start calling them that.
Yes, sir.
When you run across somebody who ain't got no discretion, they a pig. Go ahead, bro.
And are themselves completely defiled with the taint of impiety. Your king's action is removing such people. For so we are informed is amply justified. I said you refer to informers, I suppose, for he systematically imposes upon them punishment and painful death. Indeed, I do refer to them. He replied, being on the lookout to murder men is unholy. Allah forbids harming anyone in thought or in deed. I have therefore given a brief resume of these matters, indicating further to you that all the regulations have been made with righteousness in mind.
That's right.
And no ordinance have been made in scripture without purpose or fancifully, but to the intent that though the whole of our lives we may also practice justice to all mankind in our acts, remembering the all-sovereign Elohim. In matter of meats, the unclean reptiles, the beasts, the whole underlying rationale is directed toward righteousness and righteous human relationships. In my view, he habitually made out a good case for each separate category. For example, in the case of victims of offered calves, rams, and goats, he stated that it was our duty to take them from our herds and flocks, thus sacrificing domestic animals, but not the wild one, to prevent those who offer sacrifices being conscious in themselves of any excess, seeing that they follow the symbol of their legislator.
Right? We're gonna drop that right there. He says, seeing that they follow the symbol of their legislator, not only look at what he physically wrote down, but what they symbolically mean, spiritually mean.
Yes, sir.
He said Moses wanted you to see that too. All right, so let's drop that. Let's go to the next spot, Hebrew. Let's go to the next spot. Matthew 7 and 6. Matthew 7 and 6. Let's pick up the pace a little bit, Aki. We're finna pick up the pace. Matthew 7 and 6. If y'all understood that letter of Aristes, put some sevens up in the room. If you understand the spiritual aspects of the dietary law, now put some sevens up in the room. If you understand that it's deeper than just staying away from pork and shrimp and crab legs, put some sevens up in the room. If you understand the unclean animals reflect everything we not supposed to be in character, put sevens in the room. All right, look like people can understand the Hebrew. Let's go further. Matthew 7 and 6. When you get it, Hebrew, go ahead.
Okay, verse 6.
Yep.
Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you.
You see what he said a swine or a dog would do? He said they'll trample over pearls. So here's the Messiah. He's saying, look, don't get these spiritual jewels from these scriptures to people who are dogs or swine, people who have no discretion.
None.
Eat off any table or eat anything.
Yeah. Then turn and rend you.
then turn and rend you. Let's go to Proverbs 23 and 9, Hebrew.
Copy.
Proverbs 23 and 9. This is what it's saying right here. When you get it, go ahead, bro. Ooh, people still putting sevens in the room. Oh,
hallelujah.
Yeah.
Proverbs 23 and 9, family.
Yeah.
Speak not in the ears of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of thy words.
You see that? That's what that Matthew 7 and 6 saying. Don't speak in the ears of a fool. So, in other words, a dog or a swine in spirit is a fool. Let's go to the next part, Proverbs 11 and 12. This finna put it plain. Nah, hold on. That ain't it. Proverbs 11 and 22. My bad. I said Proverbs 11 and 12. Proverbs 11 and 22. When you get it, go ahead, bro.
Okay, verse 22. As a jewel of gold in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman which is without discretion.
Right. So a swine is somebody who don't have discretion. They can't distinguish between something that's good for their well-being or bad for their well-being. He said a swine will trample over pearls. That's what the Messiah said, right?
Yes, sir.
What Solomon said, as a jewel of gold is in a swine's snout, so is a pretty woman without discretion.
And they out there, boy.
So you don't want to deal with people who are spiritually swine or dogs. No discretion. Immoral. All right, let's go to the next spot. Epistle of Barnabas. Now I'm going to pull this up. I know too many people ain't got this. So we're going to pull this up. We're going to share this screen. And he's about to go over some spiritual aspects of it. Peep this, y'all. The Epistle of Barnabas.
Where's that in?
It's a New Testament apocrypha.
He ain't got this in.
Yeah, it ain't. It's let me show y'all how the book look. Let me show y'all how it look, people. I don't think too many people got it. So this is how it looks, y'all.
Yeah.
Right here. All right. We're going to read the Epistle of Barnabas. Let me share the screen. All right, we're going to do chapter 10, verses 1 through 12. Hebrew, I'm going to read it from this screen over here, all right?
Okay, because that's little for me.
All right, Hebrew. It says, but for much as Moses said, ye shall not eat the seen, nor eagle, nor falcon, nor crow, nor any fish which have no scale upon it. He received in his understanding 3 ordinances. Yea, further he said unto them in Deuteronomy, and I will lay as a covenant upon this people my ordinances. So then it is not a commandment of Yah that they should not bite with their teeth, but Moses spake it in spirit. Accordingly, he mentioned the swine with this intent. Thou shalt not cleave, said he, to such men who are like unto swine. That is, when they are in luxury, they forget the Lord. Oh, so we got another aspect of the swine personality. When they in luxury, they forget the Most High. When everything going good, they fall off and they walk.
They don't remember the matches when he's going good.
That's right. It says, but when they are in want, they recognize the Lord. But when everything go left, that's when they fast, they back fasting, they back coming to class. It says, but when they are in want, they recognize the Lord, just as the swine, when it eateth, knoweth not his Lord. But when it is hungry, it crieth out. And when it receiveth food again, it is silent. Verse 4, neither shalt thou eat eagle, nor falcon, nor kite, nor crow. Thou shalt not, said he, cleave unto or be likened to such men who now not how to provide food for themselves by toil and sweat,
Right.
but in their lawlessness seize what belongeth to others. Oh, that's all these young teenagers out here.
Yep, robbing and stealing.
With the personality, with the character of an eagle or a falcon. As if they were walking in guilelessness, watch and search about for someone to rob in their rapacity. Just as these birds alone do not provide food for themselves, but sit idle and seek how they may eat the meat that belongeth to others, being pestilent in their evil doings. And thou shalt not eat, he said, the lamprey or the polypus, nor cuttlefish. Thou shalt not, he meaneth, becometh like unto such men. So when Moses said in the law, thou shalt not eat, when he wrote thou shalt not eat, we need to read that in our minds as become not like unto such men.
Right.
As are desperately wicked and are already condemned to death, just as these fishes are along the curse and swim in the depths. So all the unclean fish, they swim in the bottom of the ocean.
At the bottom.
Not swimming on the surface like the rest, but dwell on the ground beneath the deep sea. Verse 6. Moreover, thou shalt not eat the hare. Why so? Thou shalt not be found of corrupter of boys.
Or
a pedophile. You see, nor shalt thou become like such persons, for the hare gaineth one passage in the body every year.
See? Going out both hands.
It gaineth one passage in the body every year.
Dang.
Why you think the bunny is part of the Easter? The
fertility.
That's what that bunny for.
Oh, we so the promiscuous, y'all herds out here.
Yeah.
It says, for according to the number of years it lives, it has just so many orifices.
Man, that's crazy.
Again, neither shalt thou eat the hyena. Thou shalt not, saith he, becometh an adulterer or fornicator.
Yeah.
Neither shalt thou resemble such persons. Why so?
Why? Check this out.
Because this animal changes its nature year by year.
Male, female.
And becometh at one time male and at another female.
Flip-flop. Oh, alphabet boy. Flip-flop. Brother.
Verse 8. Moreover, he hath hated the weasel. Also, and with good reason. Thou shalt not, he said. He becometh such as those men of whom we hear is working iniquity, with their mouth for uncleanliness. Neither shalt thou cleave into impure women who work iniquity with their mouth. For this animal conceiveth with its mouth. Oh-wee. Let's keep going. Last three verses. Verse 9, concerning meats, then Moses received 3 decrees to this effect and uttered them in a spiritual sense. But they accepted them according to the lust of the flesh, as though they referred to eating. See, our forefathers, they didn't even peep the spiritual thing that Moses was trying to get across. They just took it as
meat,
not eating this and not eating that. Right. Verse 10. And David also received knowledge of the same 3 decrees and says, blessed is the man who have not gone in the counsel of the ungodly, even as the fishes go into the darkness, into the depths, and have not stood in the path of sinners, just as they who pretend to fear the Lord sin like swine, and have not sat on the seat of destroyers as the birds that are seated for prey. Ye have now complete the lesson concerning eating. And again, Moses said, ye shall eat everything that divideth the hoof and cheweth the cud. What meaneth he? He that receiveth the food knoweth him that giveth him the food, and being refreshed appears to rejoice in them. Well said he, having regard to the commandment, what then meaneth he? Cleave unto those that fear the Lord, with those who meditate in their heart on the distinction of the word which they have received, with those who tell of the ordinance of the Lord to keep them, with those who know that meditation is a work of gladness, and who chew the cud of the word of the Lord. Mm-hmm. But why that which divideth the hoof? Because the righteous man both walketh in this world, and at the same time looking for the holy world to come.
Yes.
Ye see how wise a lawgiver Moses was? But when should they receive or understand these things? Howbeit, we have justly perceived the commandments tell them as the Lord will. To this end, he circumcised our ears and hearts, that we may understand these things. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yes. Let's go to the next spot. Now, let's deal with... Hallelujah. Now, let's deal with the last leg of this thing, y'all. Dealing with the dietary law in captivity. And before we understand anything about dealing with the dietary law in captivity, we got to understand a few things. So let's go to Job 9 and 25, y'all. Let's do Job 9 and 25. Let's do Job 9 and 25. Man, y'all rolling with me tonight, y'all. I can't believe it.
Yes, sir.
Y'all rolling with me tonight. We almost done. Let's see, we got. I can. We might have to cut some of this, y'all. About 2 on. I'm sorry. We might have to cut that mother of 7 sons in Romans 14. We might have to cut those. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. All right. Is that what I want? Job, man. No, that ain't what I want. That's not what I want. Hold on. I think I wrote the wrong scripture down. Job 9 and 24. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, Job 9 and 24. This is what we need to understand first and foremost. All right. Sister Francesca, I'm gonna have to, sis. This man, it's gonna be like 11 o'clock. I ain't gonna hold you.
Look at your code.
All right, go ahead, bro. Job 9 and 24.
9 and 24.
Yep.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
We got to understand this first and foremost. Let's understand that first and foremost, y'all. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. It is.
It is.
Yeah.
Revelation says the same thing. It becomes the whole of every unclean bird.
That's right.
And
Revelation 11, this was in there, but we just gonna talk about it. Revelation 11 said Christ gonna come back and destroy those who destroyed the earth. Mm-hmm. That's the precept to this right here, right? So let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 4 next, Hebrew. Let's look at that. And this is very important, especially when it comes to the chicken and the turkey, right? This is very important right here. We must understand this. 1 Timothy chapter 4, Hebrew, do 1 through 5. Do 1 through 5.
You said 4, right?
Yep.
Chapter 4. Okay. Mm-hmm. So verse 1, family. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter time shall come some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron, forbidding to marry, and commanding to abstain from meats, which Elohim hath created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth.
Now check this out. Look at what Paul said right here. He said there's going to be men in the last days who got their conscience seared with a hot iron, telling you to abstain from the meats the Most High have already told you was good. Now the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, right?
Correct.
And the wicked destroy the earth and the things in the earth, right?
Correct.
But before the earth was given into the hand of the wicked, guess what? The meats was already called clean by the Most High.
That's right.
So it's nothing the heathen can do to the chicken that can make them start eating their own kind, that can now make the clean meat unclean.
Oh, they call the Most High of God.
No, they ain't catch them off guard. You want to know why they ain't catch them off guard? You want to know why they ain't catch them off guard? Because he said this in Isaiah 30. Let's go to Isaiah 30. Matter of fact, finish out through 5, Hebrew. Finish out through 5. We're going to go to Isaiah 30.
Okay, verse 4. For every creature of Elohim is good, and nothing to be refused, if it be received with thanksgiving. For it is sanctified by the word of Elohim and
see that's can't nothing these heathens do override the word of the Most High.
Yes, sir.
So they didn't change the diets of the chickens and the turkey, and it made them eat other birds. They carnivores now. But before they had the power to do that, guess what the word of the Most High said? It's sanctified and clean.
Yes.
Right? Let's go to Isaiah 30, Hebrew. Isaiah 30. Watch this. The Most High is aware of what these heathens doing to the diet of the animals.
Like he didn't know they were going to be planted. But he ain't God.
Did y'all think they were going to catch him off guard? Isaiah 30, 18 through 24, Hebrew. Watch what he say about this. Now look. If you still want to fuss with me about the chicken and the turkey after that, you're going to be fussing with yourself. Because what you really want to argue is, well, I still think what these heathens have done overrides the words of the Most High. That's right. Really what you're saying.
You know more than the Most High.
That's what you're saying. Yep. Well, brother, it's unclean. They carnivores now, brother. So do that override what he called it good for food?
No, it don't.
And if you think it do, just give me the scripture. Show me how. All right, let's go though. Let's keep going. Where we at? Okay. Isaiah 30, 18 through 24, Hebrew. Watch this.
Verse 18.
Yeah.
And therefore will the Most High wait, that he may be gracious unto you. And therefore will he be exalted, that he may have mercy upon you. For the Most High is a power of judgment. Blessed are all they that wait for him. For the people shall dwell in Zion at Jerusalem. Thou shalt weep no more. He will be very gracious unto thee at the voice of thy cry. When he shall hear it, he will answer thee. And though the Most High give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore. But thy eyes shall see thy teachers, and thine ears shall hear the words behind thee, saying, This is the way, walk ye in it. When ye turn to the right hand, and when you turn to the left, you shall defile also the covering of thy graven images of silver, and the ornament of thy molten image of gold. Thou shalt cast them away as a mistress cloth. Thou shalt say unto it, Get thee hence. Then shall he give the rain of thy seed, and thou shalt sow the ground withal, and the bread of the increase of the earth, and it shall be fat and plenteous. In that day shall thy cattle feed in large pastures. The oxen likewise, and the young asses that ear the ground shall eat clean provender.
Hold on. Whoa. What? So they ain't eating clean food now. They died, been tampered with.
Yeah.
This future prophecy, he said, then likewise shall your oxen and young asses. So if it's the oxen and the young asses that's going to eat clean property, it's safe to assume all the animals gonna return back to their original diet.
Yes, sir.
So y'all not catching him off guard with nothing. Understand that. Let's understand something else. Let's go to Hosea chapter 9 and 3. Hosea chapter 9 and 3. He said, your oxen gonna eat clean provender. This to the northern kingdom, right? Go ahead, Hebrew. Hosea 9 and 3. Watch this.
Verse 3.
He told this to the northern kingdom. Go ahead.
They shall not dwell in the Most High's land, but Ephraim shall return to Egypt, and they shall eat unclean things in Assyria.
And they shall eat unclean things in Assyria. He told that to the northern kingdom, right? He told the same thing to the southern kingdom. That's us. That's us over here in this land, right? Let's go to Ezekiel. Ezekiel, what's that, 4? Ezekiel chapter 4. Let's pick this up at verse 6. They finna go into captivity, and he telling them what life in captivity is about to be like. Because you got, even though he told us this, you got some people who over here in captivity will still try to outsmart the Most High and think they finna be somewhere in captivity eating a squeaky clean dietary. Right, Hebrew. Pick it up at verse 6. Read 6 through 14. Watch this.
Copy that. Verse 6. And when thou hast accomplished them, lie again on the right side, when thou shalt bear the iniquity of the house of Judah 40 days. I have appointed thee each day for a year. Therefore, thou shalt set thy face toward the siege of Jerusalem, and thy arm shall be uncovered, and thou shalt prophesy against it. And behold, I will lay bands upon thee, and thou shalt not turn thee from one side to another, till thou hast ended the days of thy siege. Take thou also unto thee wheat and barley and beans and lentils and millet and fitches, and put them in one vessel, and make thee bread thereof, according to the number of the days that thou shalt lie upon thy side. 390 days shalt thou eat thereof. And thy meat which thou shalt eat shall be by weight 20 shekels a day. From time to time shalt thou eat it. Thou shalt drink also water by measure, the 6th part of a hin. From time to time shalt thou drink.
So he letting you know you finna go into captivity. You ain't finna be in charge of your food no more and how it's distributed. He said you gonna get your meat by weight. That's how we buy our food, our meat now, don't it?
On the package, it got the weight on it.
Sir.
Pay cents a pound for it.
Cents a pound for it. Don't we buy our water by measure?
Yep.
Yes,
look at this. Look, 16.9 fluid ounces.
Yes, sir.
So he let you know, look, you not finna be in charge of your food no more. You finna go to where everything is defiled. And I don't want to hear no complaining about it. You know why? Because you know why? You did it to yourself. Go ahead, Hebrew, verse 12.
Verse 12. And thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of a man in their sight. And the Mosai said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I would buy them.
You see that? He said, look, verse 12, he said, and thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of a man. So he letting you know your bread is gonna be defiled from anything. It's gonna have anything in it from human dung to cow dung.
Yes, sir.
Clean food now.
And that bread in the Hebrew means anything that you eat not just bread like barley loaf. Meat.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything you eat. He told us that. So don't come to captivity thinking you finna get around this. Ezekiel 4:13. You can't go nowhere in captivity and get around that, y'all. Well, I don't eat these chips because these chips got this in it. Okay, I guarantee you, live a little bit longer, and the chips you eat now, you gonna find out it's some in them chips.
Yellow dye number 9.
Well, I don't eat this brand of beef because it got this. Man, look, you think the brand of beef you got around Ezekiel 4:13?
Right. The air didn't get around.
No.
The water didn't get around. The ground didn't get around.
Hey, not only that, brother. When they say some of these things are grass fed, you know, a lot of people turn it, oh, it's grass fed, but it's only grass fed a certain amount.
Right.
Because by regulation, it ain't got to be like that's all they eat. It just got to be a certain part of their diet.
Yeah.
But bro, God cursed the ground.
Yes, sir.
He cursed the ground.
The crops, and truth be told, the fruits and the veggies been messed up longer than the meat.
Yeah, they've been tapping with that for years. So
hey, it's been messed up since Genesis 1.
He cursed the ground.
I mean, you know, let's keep going though, Hebrew. Let's keep going. So don't think you finna go nowhere in your captivity and get around this, y'all.
Why you got to be all things you do?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're not finna go to no store and find, oh, this the absolutely 100%
free range.
No, like, stop.
Free range.
Just stop. This is a part of your punishment. You gotta walk this out.
Come on, bro.
So it ain't nowhere you're gonna be able to go to get away from this. Well, y'all, we got a clean snack food list. Ain't no such thing. Here in captivity, you calling the Most High a lie then.
Uh-oh.
Stop it. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 10, Hebrew.
You didn't want the 14?
Yeah, read 14. I'm sorry. Go ahead. 14 and 15.
Okay.
Yep.
14, family. Then said I, Most High power, behold, my soul has not been polluted. For from my youth up, even until now, have I not eaten of that which dieth of itself, or is torn in pieces, neither came there abominable flesh in my mouth. Then he said unto me, Lo, I have given thee cow's dung for man's dung, and thou shalt prepare thy bread therewith.
You see that? He said, so it's still going to be unpleasant things in your food. When you get through talking Ezekiel, I understand that. But y'all got to walk this out. You see that? Look, Ezekiel said what he said. The Most High said, okay, when you get through talking,
right,
it's still going to be stuff in your food that you don't want in it there when you get to captivity.
Deal with it.
And you got to deal with it.
Yes, sir.
If it was a way to pull what Bruce is trying to pull today, he would have let Ezekiel get away with it.
Right. He didn't let him get away with it.
He didn't let him get away with it. He said, look, you still gonna eat it.
You still gonna eat some boo-boo. And we still eating boo-boo.
Yes, sir.
So whether you subscribe to Genesis 1 and 29 or Leviticus 11, your bread is defiled among the Gentiles.
That's it. That's it.
1 Corinthians 10, Hebrew. 1 Corinthians 10. If y'all understand that, put some sevens. If you truly understand what we just read, put some sevens up in this room.
It's hard to get around that, Doc.
Yeah, we not finna be up in this class debating about no chicken and turkey. Before these heathens had power to do that to the chicken and turkey, it was already sanctified.
Yes, sir.
A door that the Most High open can't no man close.
That's right. That's right.
He opened the door for chicken to be considered clean. Can't no heathen close that by switching the diet of the chicken? Come on, man. Like, who y'all think the Most High is? He told you your bread gonna be defiled. You think you gonna run across some new information in your captivity that give you all undefiled products? Stop it. It ain't gonna be enough. You ain't gonna be able to do enough research in this life to outsmart the Most High.
Come on, brother.
Yes, sir.
Come on, brother.
He said, "You gonna eat it. You gonna eat it.
You gonna eat it." Well, Lord, I ain't never ate nothing undefiled. Well, use cow dung, but you still gonna eat it.
That's it.
1 Corinthians 10, Hebrew. Let's get it.
Verse 1.
Yes, sir.
All right. Moreover, brethren, I would not have ye should be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink. For they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Hamashiach. But with many of them Elohim was not well pleased, for they were overthrown in the wilderness. Now these things were our examples, to the intent that we should not lust after evil things, as they also lusted. Neither be you idolaters.
He said, neither be ye idolaters. Right? So this is Paul. He banging law. The law's still in effect to Paul, because thou should not be an idol worshiper is a commandment, right?
Yes, sir.
So he telling the church at Corinth, be ye not idolaters. Now go on to read.
As were some of them,
And
it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play.
All right, so you ain't necessarily got to bow down the knee to be an idolater. You can be partaking of the food and the drink that come along with the idolatrous feast.
Right.
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead, verse 8.
Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed, and fell in one day 23,000. Neither let us tempt Hamashiach, as some of them also tempted, and were destroyed of serpents. Neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured, and were destroyed of the destroyer. Now all these things happen to them for examples, and they are written for our admonition, upon whom the ends of the world are come. Wherefore let us that think it he standeth take heed lest he fall. There hath no temptation taken you by such as is common to man, but Elohim is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it.
So what is Paul getting at? It's about to unfold. Let's get it, Hebrew. Let's see what Paul getting at, Hebrew. Go ahead.
Wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry.
Oh, so Paul, he's telling you to run from idolatry. All right.
Yes, sir.
Run from it. All right. Go ahead, Hebrew.
I speak as to wise men. Judge ye what I say. The cup of blessing which we bless, is it not the communion of the blood of Hamashiach? The bread which we break, is it not the communion of the body of Hamashiach? For we being many are one bread and one body, for we are all partakers of that one bread. Behold, Israel after the flesh, are not they which eat of the sacrifices partakers of the altar?
You see that? So that's the rule of thumb. You see that? He said, behold, Israel after the flesh. He talking about the priest. Are they which eat of the sacrifices partakers of the altar? So he's saying, look, if you eat of the sacrifices of a God, then you are part of the worship.
Yes, sir.
So if you go to if you go to a Christmas party, right? And let's just say they got chicken wings at the Christmas party, that's a clean food. But that chicken is unclean because that's food dedicated to an idol, to the idol of Christmas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You see, that's why he made the comment early in the chapter. For a man that think he's standard, he need to reconsider, because you may think because that's chicken that food is lawful, but that's at a Christmas party,
right?
You see, so if you eat of the sacrifices, you partake of the altar, or at the altar, that's where you worship it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you partake of the food, you partake of the worship. That's what Paul, that's the rule of thumb. We go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
What say I then? That the idol is anything, or that which is offered in sacrifice to idols is anything?
Mm-hmm.
But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils, and not to Elohim. And I would not that you should have fellowship with devils.
Go ahead. So this was the topic right here in this 1 Corinthians 10 is, one is idolatry, and two is, so now that they in captivity, these Corinthians, these are Israelites in Corinth in captivity, right? So now they not in charge of their food, just like he was trying to break it down to Ezekiel in his time. So what was going on was, now that we are in our captivity and the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, right? The people in charge of our food, that's in charge of the meat markets, they sacrificing the meat to other gods before it comes to the meat market. So Paul, do we buy the meat or not?
Right.
It's a good question, though. That's a good question. So now Paul get the running down. Look, flee idolatry. Don't be idolatry. If you partake in the sacrifice, you are the altar. So so basically he's saying, look, if it's meat, clean meat at an idolatrous feast, not only heck no, don't eat it. That's idolatry.
Right.
He said, because we drink of one cup and we eat off one table. Keep reading, Hebrew.
Verse
Keep
21.
reading. Yeah.
You cannot drink the cup of the Most High and the cup of devils. You cannot be partakers of the Most High's table and of the table of devils. Do we provoke the Most High to jealousy? Are we stronger than he? All things are lawful for me.
See that? He said, all things are lawful for me. Now, he was just talking about keeping the law, flee from idolatry, right? So we know he ain't talking about all things, including unlawful things.
Right.
He let you know all things within the law are lawful for me, right? Go ahead.
But all things that are not expedient.
He said, but all things ain't expedient for me. Right? If I know I got digestive problems, even though I know he sanctified beef is clean, the cow is clean, I probably need to stay away from that. It's lawful for me to eat, but it may not be expedient considering my digestive condition.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Go ahead, Hebrew.
All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not.
Right. Go ahead.
Let no man seek his own, but every man another's wealth.
Yep.
Whatsoever is sold in the shambles.
Let's stop right there. Stop right there, Hebrew. Let's look up shambles. Let's see what shambles is.
Yes,
whatever
sir.
sold in the shambles. What is that? Look, a place where meat and other articles of food are sold, meat market, right? So Paul's saying, look, whatever is sold in the meat market, go ahead. He said, that eat, asking no questions.
Yeah.
For conscience sake.
Yes, sir.
So y'all, what Paul is saying is, if it says chicken, and you can look on the package and read 100% chicken, get the chicken and get out the store. He said, ask no questions for conscience sake. If it say 100% lamb on the package, you can read the ingredient and it don't say lamb with pork casing. Now, if you look at that and it say that, put it back.
Right.
But if it say 100% lamb and nothing else, get the lamb and get out the store for your conscience sake.
Right.
So you won't be in there, hey man, is this really all lamb now? Because I heard they've been, and then I heard they've been doing this to the chicken too. and now your conscience is messed up, and now your conscience is looking at something the Most High done sanctified as something unclean. So for your conscience sake, whatever is sold in the shambles in the meat markets that you eat, if it say chicken, get your chicken. If it say beef, get your beef. If it say beef sausage and pork casing, leave it right there. Don't touch it.
Yes, sir.
If it say 80% ground beef, 20% ground pork, leave it there. Go get the 100% ground beef.
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead, Hebrew. Verse 26.
Verse 26. For the earth is the most high, and the fullness thereof.
I'm glad you put it like that. That's exactly why he's saying for conscience sake. Because you will talk yourself into not buying nothing. That's the perfect way to put it. What he just said.
Yeah, everything. Yeah. You be lean around here.
Yeah. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Verse 26. For the earth is the most high, and the fullness thereof. If any of them that believe not bid you to a feast, and ye be disposed to go. Yeah. Whatsoever is set before you, eat, asking no question for conscience sake.
Okay, verse 27. Let's break this down. It says, if any of them that believe not. That's one of the first keys. Let's deal with that. Now, those who believe not ain't necessarily got to be idolaters.
Right.
These could be somebody who actually is on the fence, right? They know this could be somebody who know what you about. They invite you over to a feast. It's just a dinner. They invite you over to dinner. They say, hey, Akizaz, man, I want to invite you over. We throwing some stuff on the grill, man. It's pork free, bro. We know you don't do that. We ain't throwing none of that on the grill, bro. We got good burgers over here. We got beef hot dogs. We got lamb chops, and we got some chicken wings, bro. Go on, come over.
Right.
That's the first key.
Right.
Dispose is the second key. So you didn't thought about this. That means you didn't contemplate this. You like,
yeah.
They you know what I'm saying? They making concessions for me. Ain't no pork. I'm going.
Yeah.
It says whatever is set before you that you eat.
That's right.
Asking no questions for conscience sake.
Right.
Go ahead, Hebrew. Now read verse 28.
Okay. But if any man say unto you, this is offered in sacrifice unto idols.
For this is different. See, this is different. Now, this is a totally different call. Aki's eyes, man, come over here, man. We ain't calling it a Christmas party. It's just a little wintertime get together, man. We got everybody over here, man. Go on, come over here, man. We got chicken wings and then you get over there. It's people in there with Santa Claus hats on.
Right.
Christmas tree up. Now they got all clean food over there, but guess what, y'all? It's an idolatrous feast.
Yes, sir.
So that chicken is unclean. Do that make sense to y'all? If it's going over y'all head, be honest in the chat. Say, IT, I don't get it. But if y'all understand it,
brother,
put some sevens in the room. This is how we deal with the dietary law in captivity.
Yes, sir.
If y'all understand this, put some sevens in the room. If you don't, say, IT, I need further clarity on that. All right, it look like we good. We good, Hebrew. Let's
hanging in there, man. All praise to the Most High, family.
Man, let's go to I'm gonna make this the last spot, Hebrew. Y'all only cut two. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to. Let's go to Mark 10. Let's go to Mark 10, 14 through 18. I know y'all and they want to hear that. I'm sorry. I know y'all didn't want to hear that. I'm gonna have to cut Romans 14, which I really do not want to cut that one. Matter of fact, let's make that one the last one. Let's make Romans 14 the last one.
Look at Howard Brown trying to shake it by E.
Bro.
You already know Howard. You know, hey.
So look,
you know how they try to.
The only one we cutting is the mother and seven sons,
Right,
y'all.
right.
That's the only one we gonna cut. We gonna cut that one. I'm sorry, y'all. We gonna cut that one. And the only reason I'm cutting that one, y'all, because we read that in a lot of classes.
Yeah,
We read that in a lot of classes. I know y'all want to. I know y'all. I promise. I know y'all, but this almost 11 o'clock. I appreciate y'all for hanging with me this long. Bro.
Yes, sir. Hallelujah. Yeah.
Hey, we did eat all of it since we just left one little corner, little crumb on the plate. That's it.
One little corner of bread, huh?
That's it. Let's do Romans 14. Now, what's going on in Romans 14, y'all, is you had a bunch of brews that was split because they like, all right, since now these heathens doing all this to the meat and the shambles, we just gonna stick with the herbs. Mm-hmm. Because now even the clean meat becoming unclean. So they started, you had brews believing that now you can't even eat the clean meats, just eat the veggies. So you had one group that subscribed to Genesis 1, and then the other half, they like, man, look, I'm Genesis 1 and Leviticus 11. I'm still eating the clean meat too. Then they were butting heads, right? So Paul is addressing this. This is what Paul is addressing. Hey, Sister Laura, I actually got something coming on the holidays. We got something coming on the holidays.
Yeah.
All right. So that's gonna be a BTTB lesson as well. So let's do this Romans 14, y'all, and get up out of here, Hebrew. Go ahead.
All right. So verse 1, family. Him that is weak in the faith receive ye, but not to doubtful dispensations. For one believeth that he may eat all things. Another who is weak eateth herbs. You
see that for one believer, he may eat all things. That's Genesis 1 and Leviticus 11. That's the all things. All right. It says, and another who is weak eateth herbs. Why is the one who eateth herbs weak? Because he look at his captivity. He know what the heathens doing to the meat, changing the diets of the animals. And he like, man, look, now the chicken unclean. Now the beef unclean. Look how big these cows are, these steroid cows. So his understanding, him not understanding that even before that it was sanctified, his understanding is weak. Right? Go ahead. Verse 3, Hebrew.
Let not him that eateth despise him that eateth not. And let not him which eateth not judge him that eateth. That's right. I'm sorry. For Elohim hath received him. Who art thou that judgest another man's servant? To his own master he standeth or falleth. Yea, he shall be holden up, for Elohim is able to make him stand. One man esteemeth one day above another. Right. Another esteemeth every day alike. Every man is fully persuaded in his own mind.
You see that? So basically in verse 5, Paul saying, look, when they come to debates amongst us as believers, and it's debate among some lawful versus lawful, yeah, it's a matter of conscience. It ain't right or wrong at that point.
Right.
Because y'all both arguing about the law. One of y'all arguing about Leviticus 11 and the other arguing about Genesis 1:29. He gave them to us both.
Right.
He said, so when it comes to stuff like this, y'all, it's a matter of conscience. Do you want to partake in it or not? No harm, no foul if you do or don't. Just like the new moon. Some brews acknowledge it, some brews don't. It's a matter of conscience. Just like some of our civil days, dedication. Purim, some brews do it, some brews don't. Some brews esteem the day of Purim above another than the next brew.
Yep.
Right, verse 6, Hebrew. Go ahead.
He that regardeth the day regardeth it unto the Most High.
That's
And
right.
he that regardeth not the day to the Most High, he does not regard it.
You see that?
He
So
that eateth,
this ain't talking about just anything. This ain't talking about birthdays.
right.
It gotta be, yeah, it gotta be something you can regard to the Most High as something that he would accept. The Most High ain't got no problem with you not eating the clean meats. He ain't got no problem with that. He got a problem with you eating the unclean meats.
That's right.
But if you stay away from chicken, turkey, beef, and just eat the herbs and vegetables, he ain't got no problem with that. Go ahead, bro.
He that eateth to the Most High, for he giveth Elohim thanks. And he that eateth not to the Most High, he eateth not, and giveth thanks, and giveth the Most High thanks.
So whenever it comes to these matters of conscience, when it comes to law versus law, whatever side you on, make sure you can honor the Most High with whatever you're doing.
Yes, sir.
That's what Paul's saying.
And make sure it's lawful that you're trying to honor the Most. Don't be talking about you keeping Thanksgiving and keeping it to the Most High.
Exactly, because that ain't what he's talking about. Right, go ahead, bro.
For none of us liveth to himself, and no man died to himself. For whether we live unto the Most High. And whether we die unto the Most High. Whether we live, therefore, or die, we are the Most High's. For to this end Hamashiach both died and rose and revived, that he might be the Most High, or the Lord, both of the dead and living. But why dost thou judge thy brother? Or why dost thou set at naught thy brother?
Yeah.
For we shall all stand before the judgment seat of Hamashiach.
When it comes to matters of law versus law, y'all, we shouldn't be setting our brother at naught.
Right.
Because it ain't no right or wrong.
Right.
It's like just what you know what I'm saying? What fits your lifestyle better?
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 11. For it is written, as I live, said the Most High, every knee shall bow to me, and every tongue shall confess to Elohim. So then every one of us shall give account of himself to Elohim. Let us not therefore judge one another anymore, but judge this rather, that no man put a stumbling block or an occasion to fall in his brother's way.
That's the most important thing right there.
Yes,
whether you Genesis 1 and 29, Leviticus 11.
Right.
Don't let neither one be a stumbling block. If you know that brother can't stand the smell of flesh and he been on the veggies in Genesis 1 and 29 for the last 5 years, because it's lawful to eat lamb, don't go around that brother.
Right.
I eat this lamb. I don't give a damn who don't like it.
Right.
And just because you've been on the herbs, don't you be turning your nose up at your brother that still want to partake in the lawful meat.
Right.
That's when, you know what I'm saying, what we doing started to become a stumbling block. That's when we start setting each other at naught. Go ahead.
Verse 14. I know and am persuaded by the Most High, or the power of Yeshua, that there is nothing unclean of itself. But to him that esteemeth anything to be unclean, to him it is unclean. But if thy brother be grieved with thy meat, now walkest thou not charitable? Wait a minute. Okay, yeah. Walkest thou not charitably, destroy not him with thy meat, whom Hamashiach died. Let not then your good be evil spoken of.
You see that? Don't let your good be evil spoken of. Go ahead, Hebrew.
For the kingdom of Elohim is not meat and drink, but righteousness and peace and joy in the Ruach HaKodesh. For he that in these things serveth Hamashiach is acceptable to Elohim and approved of men. Let us therefore follow after the things which make for peace, and things wherewith one may edify another.
That's right.
For meat destroyed not the works of Elohim. All things indeed are pure, but it is evil for that man who eateth with offense. It is good neither to eat flesh, nor drink wine, nor anything whereby thy brother stumbleth, or is offended, or is made weak.
That's right.
Hast thou faith? Have it to thyself before Elohim. Happy is he that commendeth not himself in that which things which he alloweth.
You see what he said? He said, look, Paul, like, look, you got faith in what you doing. If you think that the clean meats now, you ain't supposed to be eating them because of what these heathens doing. He said, look, have that faith to yourself before God. Don't try to put that off on your brothers.
That's right.
Yeah.
He said, have it to thyself before Yah. If that's how you feel, but understand how you feel does not change what the Most High done already put in place.
Right. Yes, sir.
Just have it to yourself before the Most High. Just say, well, Most High, this is how I personally feel. And this is how I'm going to operate within the confines of my own house and my space.
Right.
Yes, sir.
But don't you hop on YouTube, this chicken and this turkey, and y'all niggas still eating it, and y'all wicked, and y'all eat unclean foods. Nah, man. Now you causing your brother to stumble by that which you eat and drink. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 23. And he that doubted is damned if he eat, because he eateth not of faith. For whatsoever is not of faith is sin.
And that's the lesson. Sorry, I gotta cut the Mother and Seven Sons. Hey, but if you want to see me read the Mother and Seven Sons, just donate $10.99. But no, I'm playing, y'all. But yeah, write that down, y'all. Second Maccabees 7. Go read that. But yeah, that's the class, y'all. BTTB, the Law of Spiritual Dietary Edition. I hope somebody got some understanding.
Hallelujah, brother.
Most High.
Yes, sir.
Excellent edification, excellent glorification of the Most High in His words. We will thank the brothers for doing an excellent job on this lesson, this class. Hope everybody got something out of it they can use going forward. We pray that the Most High continue to open up your understanding and not only open your understanding, but give you the boldness and the courage to walk therein. We will be in class tomorrow at the Home 2 Suites in Olive Branch, Mississippi. See, well, you can't get. That's all right. It's in Olive Branch, Mississippi. It's the Home 2 Suites, and I think it's. Hold on 1 second, family. Let me get this pulled up in the room. I ain't gonna get it pulled up in the room, but I'll tell you all the information. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, we're gonna be at Home 2 Suites in Olive Branch, Mississippi. And that address is 45 thing Lodging Lane. But class will start at, well, we're going to start setting up around 12. So we usually start at 1, but we're going to start setting up around 12. Hopefully we can go in and get started. So we will be having a few little eats. As my brother Abnon would say, we're going to have a few little eats tomorrow. The sisters got together. They're going to be bringing some food tomorrow afternoon. So come out, join us at the Home 2 Suites in Olive Branch at 12 p.m. tomorrow. We'll be there from 12 p.m. to 4. Got another, hopefully have another powerful lesson for y'all tomorrow. Be myself and Brother Yacob bringing the word tomorrow afternoon. Get ready for the feast days. Feast days coming up next month, y'all. We got trumpets, we got atonement, we got tabernacle, we got the 8th day. If you plan on being down here for the feast day, I know I talked to my brother Elman. He already got some people already committed to coming down. I talked to D-Ro and his rib. They're going to be coming down. If you plan on coming down for the feast day, let us know. Try to hook y'all up what best we can. Y'all, we going to receive y'all in love. We're going to honor y'all commitment to keeping the Most High's feast days, and y'all desire to be around y'all family. So if you're coming down, let us know. Make sure we have plenty of accommodations and food and everything for everybody that's gonna be coming down. We ain't got but just next month, and they'll be on top of us. So once again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. And with that, I'm gonna hand it back to the brothers. Any last comments? Y'all got anything else?
No, man. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, y'all. We ain't stopping. We ain't nowhere near done. We just getting started. Stay tuned.
Zai, what you got?
Oh, nothing, man. Hey, man. Shabbat Shalom, family. Love y'all, man. Looking forward to seeing all the family coming in, for the feast or whatever. And I got something for you, young lion. The rib made some red beans and rice, man. So I don't know.
Praises. Hallelujah.
Yes, sir.
All praise. All praise. Honor and great glory is unto our power. The power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of our daddy Jacob.
Yes, sir.
To our brothers and sisters in the faith, as always, we salute you. We're going to holler at y'all on the other side. Peace and shalom.
Shabbat shalom. All right, bro.
You want some of them red beans and rice? No, boy.
Let me end this string.